Zhang Yi, let's check that complex. Zhang Yi nodded, trailing Zhou Hao into a dense residential block. Security was lax. They slipped in with a small crowd and followed the inner road for 5 or 6 minutes until they reached a high-rise. Do we go in and search? Zhang Yi asked. Wait, Zhou Hao said. Half an hour crawled by. Other student teams finished their assigned areas and moved on. Zhou Hao, we're wasting time, Zhang Yi pressed. He only stayed because he trusted Zhou Hao's instincts. Zhou Hao frowned. Maybe he was wrong. He exhaled. All right, let's. He stopped. No, something's off. What is it? Listen. Zhou Hao scanned the surrounding towers. Too quiet. In a district this busy, we should have seen someone by now. We've been here 30 minutes and haven't seen a single resident. Land this valuable should be crowded even during work hours. He narrowed his eyes. Blood essence flowed. His aura expanded, curving around Zhang Yi and sweeping the buildings. He caught it, a faint ripple. So faint most would miss it. Zhang, he said, steady and low, sprint to that lobby. Full speed. Zhang Yi hesitated, then gritted his teeth and charged. Bang! A rebound slammed him backward. Zhou Hao caught him, set him on his feet. Armor. Now! Before Zhang Yi could respond, figures burst from the entryway, cold glints arcing through the air. Swoosh! Swoosh! Arrow-like projectiles slashed past. Zhou Hao, already armored, yanked Zhang Yi back and fell into a controlled retreat. Target located, he snapped over comms. The channel erupted. What? Someone found the dark gods. Who is it? Zhou Hao, he's engaged. Move! Students pivoted, then froze as Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi's location markers vanished from their screens. At the hotel, Instructor Shen listened to Yun Yan's urgent report and pinged Commander Zhao. We move now. A student found the hideout. Didn't think they'd actually nail it. Hurry, he's in danger. Boom, boom, boom. A line of grandmasters blasted out of a high-rise and streaked toward the last known coordinates. A grandmaster? Yun Yan gasped at the sonic booms. Instructor Shun blinked, then smiled. Commander Zhao delivers. He put a grandmaster on student protection. Let's get eyes on. With that many grands, the dark gods won't hold. Students converged on the complex. Bang, bang, bang. Explosions rippled through the building. Violent energy waves rolled across the block. Residents poured out, panicked. Yuan Sheng, Su Ling, and others fanned out to shield and evacuate them. Boom, crack. As he Biao, Zhan Hong, and the grandmasters arrived, an oval of lightning blossomed over the residential zone. Gray mist bled from it, dropping fast until it swathed the complex and several surrounding streets. Roars broke the air. Residents who inhaled the gas erupted in gray-green rashes. Within seconds, their cells ran wild, twisting flesh and bone. People became monsters before anyone could catch their breath. Watch out! Fall back! Su Ling, Yuan Sheng, and the others went pale as residents twisted into monsters before their eyes. Shouts snapped across the courtyard. Thankfully, most students already wore standard armor. The plates held against the first frenzied blows. He Biao and the grandmasters narrowed their eyes. This is the dark gods, someone growled. They've weaponized a biovirus. Rage flared, and the grands surged forward, only to rebound off the gray, crackling veil encasing the block. Not good. A lightning prison. Masters can pass. Grandmasters are locked out. Damn it. He Biao's blade hammered the barrier, purple ripples skittering across the net. Zhen Hong and the others struck in unison. The lattice held. No use, He Biao said tightly. This can only be broken from the inside. Then rally every master we have, Zhen Hong snapped. Get them in there. The students need support. They exchanged grim looks and reported to Commander Zhao. Instructor Shen heard first. His easy expression vanished. A lightning prison? Zhou Hao, Zhang Yi, Yuan Sheng, danger. He moved without hesitation. The cage barred grandmasters. Those below could slip through. Outside the high-rise, nearly 100 dark gods ringed Zhou Hao. Bodies lay scattered. Masters, all of them. No one had expected 2 weak students to cut down more than 100 masters in 10 seconds. Zhou Hao eased the unconscious Zhang Yi to the ground, lifted his saber, and faced the circle. The Dark Gods earned their reputation. Hundreds of masters hidden in one tower, and a grandmaster holding the line. TSK. So the peerless genius from Chu City High is you, Zhou Hao, said a man in a bronze mask behind the formation. And you actually found our den. Save the speech, Zhou Hao replied, voice flat. You've recognized me. Mark today on your calendar. He vanished. Careful. 7 flashes of steel. 7 masters fell. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. He ghosted through the ranks, the shadow 7 sabers fully in hand, scything lives with each step. The bronze mask tightened. He hadn't expected this. Speed, precision, pressure. Enough. He flung a beast-carved jade. It sang, vomiting a surge of violent aura that condensed into a colossal phantom beast. It roared, a flood of force crashing over Zhou Hao. His movement faltered like wading through tar. Break. Blood essence surged. The roar that answered was older, dragon and elephant entwined. Power boiled off him. The phantom's grip shattered. He blurred again. Pooh, pooh, pooh. One blade, then another. Masters dropped in cascades. Blood slicked the concrete. Iron stung the air. The bronze-masked man stared, stunned. He'd seen monsters in human skin, but never a student like this. Zhou Hao pivoted, eyes locking on him. Your turn.
Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Dozens of afterimages started to slow down and gather together. Still wearing the standard armor, Zhou Hao looked at the bronze-masked man calmly. Ha ha, Zhou Hao, do you think you can challenge a grandmaster just because you killed a group of master-level experts? The masked man laughed and directly took off the bronze mask, revealing a terrifying and hideous face. Today, I'll let you witness the true strength of a grandmaster. He raised his hand and grabbed, and the beast-shaped jade pendant floating in the air returned at lightning speed and fused with his body. Then, he let out a beast-like roar as his body expanded violently. His aura also increased rapidly. Roar! In the blink of an eye, the bronze-masked man transformed into a creature that was 7 to 8 meters tall. Genius! Haha! Even if you are a peerless genius, you will still have to be killed by me. With a bang, the bronze-masked man charged towards Zhou Hao in extremely fast speed. Bang! Zhou Hao did not even dodge as he quickly slashed out. Clang! The standard saber shattered directly. However, a terrifying force spread out and directly sent the bronze-masked man flying. He slammed into several tall buildings and smashed into the ground. At this moment, Su Ling, Yuan Cheng, and the others were killing the monsters that just transformed. Seeing a huge beast fly out, they were all shocked. Retreat quickly. This is a Grandmaster-level monster. Sensing the terrifying aura emitted by this creature, Shen Jing, who had just rushed into the lightning prison, shouted anxiously. The bronze-masked man ignored Shen Jing and the others. His blood-red eyes stared fixedly at the figure that was gradually appearing from the dust of the ruins. You actually reached the combat strength of a grandmaster. How long has it been? How did a student like you grow to such a level? His voice was like thunder as it rolled out. Shen Jing wasn't the only one who heard it. Yuan Cheng, Feng Yi, Yu Yan, and the other Yinjing geniuses also heard it. He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the others, who were bombarding the lightning prison, also heard the explosion. Yes, he's our Chu City High School's peerless genius. Ah, that's great. We're saved. I knew it. He has always been by our side. The students of Chu City's high school training class were excited. All of them seemed to have gone crazy. Unlike these students from Chu City High School, the Yinjing geniuses and the other grandmasters all felt somewhat dumbfounded. Genius. Grandmaster. These two words kept echoing in their minds. Shun Jing and the other grandmasters were still all right. After all, they more or less understood the combat strength of that hidden, peerless genius. Therefore, even though they were mentally prepared, they quickly reacted. However, Yuan Cheng, Fang Yu, and the others' minds gradually went blank. They could not believe that a high school genius could actually have the combat strength of a grandmaster. This was simply ridiculous. As Yanjing geniuses, they had broad horizons and had even seen some true geniuses from prestigious schools. Even the world's most outstanding prestigious school genius was only comparable to a high-level master in terms of combat strength. Rumble. The huge bronze-masked man struggled to stand back up. He looked at the clear figure in the dust and suddenly laughed out loud. I admit that you are indeed the strongest genius I have ever seen. But so what? A genius is only a genius after all. Even if you have the combat strength of a grandmaster, the foreign races will still. Before the bronze-masked man could finish speaking, a saber beam completely drowned his vision. When he heard the sudden sonic boom, the bronze-masked man's heart completely stopped beating. Boom! His huge body fell heavily to the ground, and a saber was stabbed into his heart. Zhen Hong, He Biao, and the other grandmasters were stunned again. This saber beam, it's that Senior Zhou's saber technique. No, compared to Senior Zhou, this saber technique seems to be a little weak and not that domineering. Fang Yun, Yun Yin, and the others were also stunned. They had once seen an expert perform a stunning saber technique in the wilderness. The saber beam was almost identical to the one from before. Could this genius be the senior who saved us last time? This thought surged into their mind anxiously. Old Shun, you've made a terrible mistake. Zhen Hong also said angrily. If such a genius with limitless potential dies, can you, Shun Jing, bear the consequences? I understand, but I can't disregard the lives of other students. Shun Jing gritted his teeth and said. The other grandmaster sighed. Commander Zhao rushed over at this moment. After hearing the reason, he walked forward with a frown. All right, don't blame Shun Jing anymore. In that situation back then, even I would have done the same. Moreover, since that genius dared to rush in to save someone, he should have the confidence to come back out alive. Don't forget that he has extremely powerful combat strength. He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the other grandmasters looked at Shun Jing with a dark expression. Hopefully, that genius is still alive. Otherwise, Shun Jing, you will be the center of humanity. The other students surrounding them were all silent. All of a sudden, Su Ling said firmly, I believe that the genius is still alive. Me too. He won't die so easily. Yes, that genius is the guardian angel of our Chu City High School. It's impossible for him to die. The students of Chu City's high school training class shouted one after another. Commander Zhao nodded and looked at the residential area that had been reduced to ruins. He frowned and said, This should be a stronghold of the dark gods. Let's go in and check later. We might be able to gain something. In the evening, at the medical office of Chu City High School, Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi had just woken up when they heard a commotion. I told you long ago that the peerless genius of our school killed a high-level demon general. You didn't believe me, but you saw it with your own eyes today, didn't you? That's right. That genius single-handedly uprooted the dark god's stronghold and even killed a grandmaster. Can the geniuses from your Yinjing training camp do that? This genius from our school keeps a very low profile. He only stands up when there's a crisis. All of you should learn from him. The students of Chu City's high school training class could be said to be feeling proud and elated. Yuan Cheng, Yun Yin, and the other Yinjing geniuses were unable to lift their heads for 3 to 4 hours. Of course, the main reason was that Yuan Cheng and the others were still in shock. Su Ling heard Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi's movements and could not help but shout, Stop fighting. Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi are awake. Whoosh. Many students surrounded them. Zhou Hao, Zhang Yi, how are you guys feeling? Does it hurt anywhere? Everyone asked anxiously. After all, Zhou Hao and Zhang you were the ones who had discovered the dark gods this time. The two of them were the main contributors. Zhou Hao shook his head. I'm fine. Zhang, he shook his head forcefully and was still in a daze. However, he quickly regained his senses and revealed an anxious expression. My sister. Have you found my sister? Su Ling and the other students immediately fell silent. Zhou Hao frowned. He had actually been awake the entire time, but because he had been sent to the medical department by the students, he did not know what happened after that. However, judging from Su Ling and the others' reactions, the situation seemed to be a little bad. Quickly, tell me. Zhang Yi shouted anxiously. Zhang Yi, calm down first, Su Ling thought for a moment and advised. When Zhang Yi heard this, he was stunned as tears streamed down his face. Is my sister dead? Zhou Hao's eyes darkened as he blamed himself for wasting time with the members of the Dark Gods. He should have prioritized entering the building to save Zhang Yi's sister. At this moment, Su Ling hurriedly said, Zhang Yi, don't cry first. Your sister isn't dead. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yi suddenly looked up and asked anxiously, Su Ling, what did you mean just now? My sister isn't dead. Yes. Su Ling nodded heavily. Then where is she? Zhang Yi grabbed Su Ling's arm. Su Ling did not know what to say for a moment. Yin Yin walked forward. Let me explain. Zhang Yi could not help but turn to look at Yin Yin. Yin Yin said slowly, It's like this. After you and Zhou Hao fell unconscious, the peerless genius of our school appeared and killed a group of experts from the Dark Gods. However, the Dark Gods' self-destruction system was activated and the entire residential area exploded. After that, Commander Zhao and the others searched thoroughly and found a metal box. This metal box contained clues about your sister. Zhang Yi hurriedly asked, What clues did you find? Yin shook her head. We don't know the exact situation, but we do know that the Dark Gods probably have their eyes on your sister because of her physique. It seems that they want to use her for a blood sacrifice. However, that's only if your sister's strength reaches a certain level. Zhang Yi almost broke down when he heard about the blood sacrifice, but his eyes widened after hearing the rest. Yin, you mean that until my sister matures and meets the requirements of the blood sacrifice, she will be safe, right? Su Ling and the other students nodded and said in unison, Yes. Zhou Hao asked, Do you know where Zhang Ying was taken to? It's the Dark Gods' headquarters. A voice suddenly sounded from the entrance of the medical office. The students automatically opened a path, and Shunjing walked over. Zhang Yi and Zhou Hao hurriedly got up. Shunjing waved his hand. You don't have to move. Zhang Yi, according to our understanding, other people from different cities have also been taken away by the Dark Gods. The blood sacrifice held by the Dark Gods is very mysterious. They have to bring those people to the headquarters to train them until they meet the requirements. Therefore, your sister is safe until she meets the requirements for the blood sacrifice. Hearing Instructor Shun say this, Zhang Yi immediately relaxed. Zhou Hao asked, Instructor, may I ask how long it will take for the Dark Gods to nurture Zhang Ying and the others who have been captured? Zhang Yi was stunned for a moment before looking at Instructor Shun nervously. Instructor Shun shook his head. We're not too sure about that either. We only know that the requirements for the blood sacrifice are very strict. Even if the Dark Gods are able to obtain a lot of resources, they will still need at least a year to prepare. Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi looked at each other. In other words, we only have a year. Zhang Yi clenched his fists tightly. Instructor Shun nodded. That's right. If you want to save your sister, you have to advance to the master level within this year. Zhang Yi gritted his teeth and said firmly, I will. Instructor Shun sighed in his heart. Actually, he was only giving Zhang Yi hope. After all, the Dark Gods were too powerful. If there was already a Grandmaster holding down the fort at the residential area stronghold, then just what kind of expert awaited them at the headquarters? Turning around, Shun Jing swept his gaze over the other students and said slowly, All of you have done well in this Dark Gods operation. The school and Commander Zhao have unanimously decided to hold an awards ceremony for all of you the day after tomorrow. At that time, Commander Zhao and the other Grandmaster experts will personally give you the medal. What? An award ceremony? That's great. A Grandmaster level expert will even be there to personally give us the medal. I can't wait. The students were pleasantly surprised. Even Yuan Cheng, Yun Yin, and the other Yinjing geniuses couldn't help but be excited. It was a supreme honor to receive a Medal of Honor from a Grandmaster. Shun Jing waved his hand, and everyone instantly fell silent. Don't be happy yet. Instructor Shun's expression suddenly turned unsightly, and his tone became solemn. By removing the Dark God's stronghold this time, we have also attracted the attention of the experts from the Dark God's headquarters. Now, even the foreign races will place their attention on our Huadong city. Therefore, our Huadong city might start facing some great pressure. Su Ling and the other students' hearts skipped a beat when they heard this, and their hearts instantly became heavy. Instructor Shun continued, "After the award ceremony, I will train you guys even more strictly and forcefully." Upon hearing this, many students immediately complained. Even Yuan Cheng, Yun Yin, and the others had bitter expressions. They knew very well how abnormal Instructor Shun's strict training was. It was simply hellish. At night, in the cool moonlight, Zhou Hao returned to the entrance of a Yang Garden residence. Looking at the warm lights inside, he collected his emotions and walked in. "Little Hao, you're back. Quickly wash your hands. The food will be ready soon. Today is your favorite braised carp and tofu with bamboo shoots." As soon as Zhou Hao entered, he heard his mom's laughter in the kitchen. His father, who was reading the newspaper, also smiled and looked at Zhou Hao. "Son, are you tired from the training camp?" The two of them knew that Zhou Hao had entered the focus training class. This was something they had coincidentally heard when Zhou Hao was on the phone with Su Ling. At that time, they were so happy that their mouths were wide open. Even the dinner that night was much more sumptuous. "I'm not tired. It's pretty fulfilling." Zhou Hao washed his hands and said, "The instructor said that I'll reach the second level of blood essence soon." Zhou Shuigua immediately put down the newspaper and said in surprise, "Really?" Zhou Hao said casually, "How could it be a lie?" The instructor said so himself. "Good, good." Zhou Shuigua became excited. "Son, work hard and break through to the second level of blood essence. You have a chance to become a martial artist in the future." At this moment, Wang Shiyuan walked out with 2 plates of food and placed them on the dining table. Seeing that Zhou Shuigua was so excited, she could not help but ask him a few questions. Zhou Shuigua repeated Zhou Hao's words. Wang Shuyun was immediately excited. She planted a few kisses on Zhou Hao's forehead. "Son, you're really something. Haha, our family is going to have a martial artist too." Zhou Hao was speechless. "Dad, Mom, why are you so happy just because your son is a martial artist?" Zhou Shuigua stared at him. "Son, do you know how many people dream of becoming a martial artist? Once you become a martial artist, you can kill foreign races and work for the city. Your father's dream back then was to become a martial artist." Zhou Hao hurriedly said, "Yes, yes, Dad. I'll work hard to become a martial artist." As he spoke, he couldn't help but ridicule in his heart. If they knew that his son had already easily killed a high king-level demon beast, they would probably be so excited that they wouldn't be able to sleep for a month. "All right, I'm happy today. Son, drink with me." After eating for more than half an hour, Zhou Shuigua pulled Zhou Hao to drink and chat until 9:30 before letting him sleep. Lying in bed, Zhou Hao looked at the starlight shining in from the window and gradually calmed down. The biggest reason why Zhou Hao had cleaned the wilderness area and uprooted the dark gods was still to protect his family. Opening the virtual screen, he habitually glanced at the luck points. Luck points, 893,100 current level, overwhelming luck. Zhou Hao was shocked. More than 50,000 luck points? Could it be? He could not help but think of the bronze-masked man he had killed today. It seemed that he was able to drop luck points after transforming into a hideous creature. The Dark Gods are really an evil organization. Even their luck point system considers them to be a foreign race. Sighing, he subconsciously clicked on the shop section and arrived at the mystery box interface. Large amounts of boxes flashed past as they were opened. Most of them still contained roses, Heaven Dao coins, and other trash. 890,000. I'm almost at 1 million. Anticipation flashed in his eyes. At the Dark God's headquarters, in the incomparably spacious hall, roars sounded. Damn it, damn it. A mere Huadong city actually destroyed a stronghold of my dark gods. Shadow. A ball of black gas surged out from the darkness. Yes, sir. Go. Inform the Cloud Mink royal family outside the Huadong city that our dark gods are willing to cooperate with them. Together, we will make Huadong city disappear from this land. Beast sensed the energy fluctuations and roared. At this moment, a sharp voice sounded. Shadow, what are you doing in my territory? The dark figure quickly floated into a rough, round wooden building and slowly condensed, revealing a black robe. Greetings, Lord Cloud Mink. The dark figure bowed respectfully. The reason for my visit this time is because the president wants to give you a big gift. The high-pitched voice said, What big gift? The dark figure hurriedly said, Huadong City. Boom! The entire rough, round wooden building shook. Two eyes that were like giant lanterns emerged from the darkness and stared at the dark figure. The Huadong City harmed my people. I have made a vow to destroy the Huadong City. State your terms. The dark figure chuckled. After this matter is done, as long as you can provide a portion of your Cloud Mink's blood essence, that will do. The other party snorted, and the surrounding air froze. Your president sure has a big appetite. All right, I agree. But if the Huadong City doesn't get destroyed, I assume you are aware of the consequences. At Chu City High School, ring ring, with a crisp ringtone, the school gradually fell silent. In the training room, Zhou Hao and the others were lying in the virtual cabins, constantly killing various demon beasts and insects. Compared to before, the number of demon beasts and insects had increased by several times, making many students complain incessantly. In less than 10 minutes, almost 80% of the virtual cabins turned red. Many students sighed and shouted, It's too difficult. Not long after, Zhou Hao, Su Ling, and Zhang Yi's team were also annihilated. There are too many demon warriors, and all of them were traveling in packs. The training difficulty has indeed increased by a lot. Su Ling frowned, but her face was still cold and beautiful. Zhou Hao said casually, The difficulty has increased, but everyone's strength has improved very quickly. Su Ling nodded slightly. Indeed, the high-intensity training after the award ceremony had improved the combat experience of the students in the class. Moreover, in addition to carrying out virtual drills, Instructor Shun had also arranged for all the students to continue fighting mutated beasts like the tusk boar. Everyone's strength had also clearly improved. At the very least, when facing the low-level demon warriors, everyone was no longer as panicked as before. By the way, Yuan Cheng and the others said that they're going to a bar to relax tonight. Are you coming? Su Ling looked at Zhou Hao and Zhang Yi and asked. Zhang Yi shook his head. I'll go home and continue training. His younger sister's whereabouts were still unknown, so he was naturally in no mood to go to the bar. Zhou Hao also shook his head. I still have something to do tonight. Su Ling widened her eyes and kicked Zhou Hao lightly. She asked suspiciously, What is there for you to do? Zhou Hao said angrily, It's not convenient for me to tell you. Su Ling seemed to have thought of something as her face turned slightly red. Shameless. How could you go to those shady places? I'm ignoring you. With that said, she turned and left. Is she on her period again? Zhou Hao was speechless. After school, Zhou Hao arrived at the defensive line of the East Station. Just as he arrived at the command center, he saw Commander Zhao frowning. Commander Zhao, what happened? He asked as he stepped forward. Senior Zhou, you came at the right time. Commander Zhao stretched out his hand and signaled for Zhou Hao to sit. Zhou Hao sat down. Commander Zhao handed him a cup of hot water and said in a deep voice, Yesterday, 2 martial artist teams disappeared at the edge of Area 283. However, the people we sent to search did not discover anything. These 2 martial artist teams are not weak. There were 3 master-level experts in each team. When Zhou Hao heard this, he asked curiously, Area 283 is rather far from the city. I just cleaned up that area the day before yesterday. Almost all the intermediate level and high-level demon generals were dead. With a master around, how is it possible for their team to disappear? Commander Zhao nodded. That's also what I don't understand. As he spoke, he tapped his finger on the table. Immediately, ripples appeared. The ordinary table instantly became an electronic screen covered in red dots. And just 2 hours ago, our intelligence department discovered that there was a bad high-energy signal in Area 283. Several helicopters went to investigate and were destroyed on the way. Zhou Hao's expression could not help becoming solemn. He knew very well that the red dots represented king-level demon beasts, and at least 30 red dots had appeared in Area 283. This meant that more than 30 king-level demon beasts had suddenly appeared in Area 283. I don't dare to take the risk of letting He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the others investigate. Commander Zhao's voice was low. A Grandmaster was the city's strongest combatant and the last line of defense. If anything happened to them, the city would no longer be able to resist the foreign races in the wilderness. Zhou Hao stood up. I'll go and check. No, Commander Zhao refused flatly and shook his head. Senior Zhou, you're the strongest and the hope of the city. Even if something happens to all of us, the city will still be safe and sound with you around. I'll send a few more military teams. Zhou Hao waved his hand and interrupted. You will only be sending them to their deaths. I'm the only one here who has the strength to kill high king-level demon beasts, so I am the most suitable. Don't worry, I will be right back. I won't waste any time with those demon beasts. Commander Zhao was about to speak when he saw that Zhou Hao had already disappeared. He hurriedly rushed out and looked at the figure in the sky before sighing heavily. Intelligence Department, immediately activate the detector to its maximum value and keep a close eye on the location of Senior Zhou's aura, he ordered in a deep voice. Yes, Commander. At this moment, He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the other Grandmasters had also rushed over. Even if Commander Zhao did not say anything, they could still find out about the situation in Area 283 through other channels. After all, the continuous losses of master-led teams was enough to cause a commotion in the Huadong city. Isn't that Senior Zhou? Is he going to the wilderness area again? He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the other Grandmasters happened to see the red figure in the sky. Commander, Zhao shook his head. Senior Zhou has gone to Area 283. He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the others were stunned for a moment before they quickly reacted. Commander Zhao, what's going on in Area 283? Commander Zhao explained the situation again. What? More than 30 king-level demon beasts. Could it be that the king-level demon beasts that fled before have returned? In the depths of the wilderness area, under Zhou Hao's full speed, he arrived at the edge of Area 283 in less than 10 minutes. Zhou Hao frowned as he looked at the barren mountain range in front of him. As soon as he arrived, the blood essence of the dragon elephant wisdom technique circulated automatically. It was obvious that there was an extremely terrifying danger on the other side of the mountain range. Otherwise, it would be impossible for his cultivation technique to start up automatically. With the defense of the Black Tortoise set, my combat strength has also reached the peak of the Grandmaster level. Even if I encounter a terrifying Overlord-level demon beast, I can still escape calmly. With this in mind, Zhou Hao's toes suddenly stepped on the ground, and his body suddenly soared. In a few flashes, he crossed the mountain range in front of him. Roar! Roar! However, just as he crossed the mountain range, he was dumbfounded. On the other side of the mountain range, a large number of demon beasts were gathered. There were more than 100 king-level beasts with terrifying auras. And at the back of the demon beasts, there were 3 terrifying huge beasts. The aura they emitted was terrifying like an abyss, and it even affected the energy fluctuations in the world. Overlords. Without a doubt, these 3 giant beasts were all at the Overlord level. Roar. As if it had noticed Zhou Hao, an Overlord-level beast let out a thunderous roar. For a moment, over 100 king-level demon beasts, tens of thousands of demon generals, and nearly 1 million demon warriors roared in unison, shaking the space until it was vaguely distorted. Rumble. As the ground shook, Nearly 1 million demon warriors rushed towards Zhou Hao like a terrifying storm. Zhou Hao reacted and hurriedly recorded the scene and sent it out through the radar watch. At the same time, he shouted anxiously, "Quick, quick, the demon beast horde is going to attack the city." If there were more than 1 million demon beasts gathered so suddenly, there could only be one possibility. They were planning to besiege the city. And not only were there 1 million demon warriors in front of him, there were even more than 100 king-level demon beasts and 3 overlords. This was no longer just a siege. They wanted to destroy the Huadong city. At the East Station's headquarters, Commander Zhao, He Biao, Zhun Hong, and the other Grandmasters had solemn expressions. The situation in Area 283 made them have an ominous feeling. DD. Suddenly, an urgent message sounded from their radar watches. When He Biao, Zhun Hong, and the others saw the message, their faces turned pale. How is this possible? 3 Overlord-level beasts. There has never been one in the previous attack. Our Huadong city is in danger. Despair appeared in the eyes of every Grandmaster. Facing a beast wave attack formed by king-level demon beasts, the Grandmasters could still manage to resist it with the help of the city. However, it was different when their opponents were Overlord-level demon beasts. They were terrifying existences comparable to a nuclear bomb. Commander Zhao's body trembled, but he forced himself to calm down. He immediately ordered into his ear mic, "Quickly sound the city's special alarm. All residents of the city are to be transferred to the underground. Order. Anyone who has reached the level of a martial artist and above, quickly head to the various defense lines in 10 minutes and prepare to resist the beast wave attack." As soon as he finished speaking, an ear-piercing alarm instantly sounded throughout the entire city. DD, DD, D. The calmness of the city was instantly gone due to the emergency alarms. What happened? There are actually 5 alarms going off at once. This is a special level alarm. Regardless of whether they were at work, shopping, or attending classes, the residents in the city all looked at the source of the alarm. Quick, quick, the beast wave attack is coming. All the company members are to be sent to the underground base. Quick, this is a special alert. The city is in an unprecedented crisis. The higher-ups of the government, the school, and the various companies were all extremely anxious. 5 air defense alarms sounded in the city, indicating that even the city could not resolve the upcoming beast wave attack. Soon, the news of the imminent beast wave attack spread like a storm throughout the city. The residents immediately panicked. Fortunately, they had all experienced such a situation before. After a short panic, they quickly went underground methodically under the arrangement of the government staff. However, there were too many residents in the city. It would take more than 2 hours for all of them to be transferred underground. Naturally, the beast wave attack clearly would not wait for the citizens to evacuate. Rumble. Not long after Zhou Hao sent the video message out, the ground outside the city shook. At the East Station's headquarters, Commander Zhao turned anxious again. Has the intelligence department contacted Senior Zhou? Commander, the energy coverage outside is too strong. We are unable to accurately locate him. The intelligence director was so anxious that his forehead was covered in sweat. He knew very well how important Senior Zhou was to the city. Commander Zhao, who rarely cursed out loud. Trash, a bunch of useless trash. He Biao, Zhun Hong, and the other Grandmasters also recovered from their despair. Even though their eyes were filled with anxiety, their expressions had calmed down. Commander Zhao, we have to ask for help from the Yinjing city as soon as possible. Grandmaster, you said in a deep voice. The other Grandmasters looked at Commander Zhao. Commander Zhao gritted his teeth and sighed. I've already requested help, but even if a supernatural Grandmaster rushed over, it would still take at least half an hour. And the strength of this beast wave attack is too terrifying. I'm afraid we won't be able to resist it. Zhun Hong could not help but say, Commander Zhao, don't we still have the ultimate weapon, the laser rail cannon? This weapon can pose a threat to Overlord-level demon beasts. The other Grandmasters' eyes lit up when they heard this. What? Our Huadong city also has a laser rail cannon. That's great. With the laser rail cannon, as long as we can operate it properly, we will be able to kill an overlord-level demon beast. They were all excited. The laser rail cannon was the most advanced technological weapon. Commander Zhao smiled bitterly and shook his head. The laser rail cannon is indeed powerful, but it takes half a minute just for it to accumulate energy. Moreover, with the energy reserves of our Huadong city, we can only fire it 3 times. Upon hearing this, the Grandmasters, who were suddenly hopeful, immediately fell silent. The Overlord-level demon beasts were all extremely fast, and it was very difficult for them to hit them with the cannon. Considering that it could only fire 3 times, the laser rail cannon could only be used as a deterrent. No matter what, with the laser rail cannon, we can at least make those Overlord-level demon beasts fear us and discourage them from attacking the city immediately. As long as we can hold on until the supernatural Grandmaster arrives, our city will still be saved, He Biao said firmly. The other Grandmasters nodded one after another. At this moment, they could only grit their teeth and endure. Fortunately, the city's defense line was firm and could withstand a beast wave attack with more than 1,000,000 beast warriors. With the city's defense line, they might have a chance. Continue to work on tracking Senior Zhou's location and contact him as soon as possible. We need him. Commander Zhao was not optimistic. He urged the intelligence department and immediately ordered all the soldiers to enter the defensive line. I hope Senior Zhou is safe and sound. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the others prayed for Zhou Hao in their hearts, they immediately flashed to the high wall of the defensive line. Looking at the distant demon beast wave attack that surged like a tsunami, they looked at each other and saw the determination in each other's eyes. In a wilderness area far away from the South Station's defensive line, Zhou Hao's figure was running crazily, and behind him were dozens of king-level demon beasts. Boom, boom, boom. When he reached Area 261, he heard the sound of artillery firing from the city. Zhou Hao could not help but stop and look in the direction of the city. Has the beast wave attack already arrived at the high wall of the city's defense line? After discovering the gathered demon beasts, Zhou Hao had already tried his best to stall and attract the attention of the beasts, allowing the beast group to send out 18 king-level demon beasts to pursue him. This was the limit of what he could do. As for the Overlord-level demon beasts, although he wanted to lure them over, the 3 demon beasts were not swayed at all. Clearly, their priority was to attack the city. Damn human ant, why aren't you running anymore? Humph. You're that Senior Zhou who killed many of our companions, right? Let's see where you can run to today. The 18 king-level demon beasts that had caught up to Zhou Hao surrounded him. Each of them was at least an intermediate-level demon king and was rather intelligent. Zhou Hao stood rooted to the ground, but his expression was very calm. That's right, I'm not running anymore. This place has a beautiful environment and will be a perfect burial site for you guys, he said indifferently. Haha, human ant, do you really think you can kill us with so many demon kings around? What shameless boasting. The demon kings muttered disdainfully. Zhou Hao smiled calmly. You'll know soon enough whether or not I'm just boasting. As soon as he finished speaking, the blood essence in his entire body suddenly boiled. His wide meridians instantly emitted the sound of a bowstring. The powerful blood essence of the 100th level of the Dragon Elephant Wisdom Technique instantly filled every cell in his body. Buzz, buzz. His skin was trembling. His originally simple aura suddenly soared. Roar. Soon, an incomparably terrifying ancient dragon elephant figure appeared behind him and roared. A huge blood essence pressure enveloped the surroundings. The 18 demon kings immediately felt their blood being suppressed, and their souls trembled. Fear appeared in the eyes of all the demon kings. They suddenly felt that Zhou Hao was the true demon king here. The Shadow 7 sabers sounded. Zhou Hao's figure flashed 7 times in a second, each time emitting a saber beam that caused the space to tremble. The saber beams turned into bloody marks appeared on the foreheads of the 7 demon kings. Swoosh! The bloody marks soon ruptured and large amounts of blood and brains splattered everywhere. Boom! The 7 huge demon kings fell to the ground. Even until they died, they did not understand how Zhou Hao had been able to kill them. The remaining 11 demon kings were panic-stricken when they saw this. It was too terrifying. 7 intermediate-level demon kings had been instantly killed by Zhou Hao. Run! The demon kings' hearts trembled. How could they dare to continue surrounding and killing Zhou Hao? They all fled for their lives. Pooh! Pooh! However, the saber beams were like a demon god that was chasing after them. After a moment, Zhou Hao stood in front of the last demon king corpse and stored it in the large space of the black tortoise set. It's indeed very easy for me to kill a demon king with a king-level saber, Zhou Hao muttered as he opened the virtual screen. Originally, he was worried about finding a way to increase his luck points. But now with the Beast Wave attack was the perfect opportunity for him to accumulate luck points, even though it was a disaster for the city. Luck points, 2,872,100 current level. Overwhelming luck. Upon seeing this, Zhou Hao couldn't help but be excited. As expected, demon kings are the most fun to kill. My luck points has finally exceeded 1 million. After taking a few deep breaths, he calmed down. Since his luck points had exceeded 1 million, it would be a waste for him to continue accumulating. Although the higher his luck points, the higher the chances of him consuming a top-grade item. The city was currently facing a beast wave attack led by terrifying demon overlords. He had to increase his strength in order to deal with it calmly. Moreover, with so many demon overlords, he did not have to worry about luck points. Without hesitation, he opened the shop section and went to the silver mystery box page. Since I'm going to open it, I might as well spend all my luck points and see what good things I can get. Thinking of this, Zhou Hao gritted his teeth and consumed all his luck points. Immediately, his luck points was depleted. 10 consecutive boxes. He directly clicked on 10 consecutive boxes. Ding. Please fill in your weapons, pills, and cultivation techniques. The system displayed a message. Zhou Hao hurriedly filled in the form. Soon, information appeared in the empty compartment. The cultivation techniques were as follows. Cultivation techniques, blood transformation art, blood burning art, 3 revolutions divine blood art, 9 revolutions golden body art, shadow saber stance, mirage slash, shadow 7 sabers, sky splitting divine technique. Weapons. Weapons, black tortoise set, black tortoise sacred set, black tortoise divine armor. King level saber, blood imbibing saber, god slaying saber, saber of nirvana. Medicinal pills, top grade blood explosion pill, divine blood pill, primordial blood pill. This time, Zhou Hao did not fill in the dragon elephant wisdom technique. What he was cultivating had already reached the limit of the dragon elephant wisdom technique. Boom! After filling in the information, the silver mystery box spun and covered the entire virtual screen. Bang! The silver mystery box exploded. Immediately, 10 items appeared on the screen. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining a rare level cultivation technique, sky splitting divine technique from the silver mystery box. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining 100 roses. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining 1,000 Heaven Dao coins. Ding! Congratulations for obtaining a rare level weapon, the God Slaying Saber. Ding! Congratulations for obtaining a rare level medicinal pill, the Divine Blood Pill. The items have been placed in your backpack. Please take note. At the same time, a system announcement appeared on the screen. Congratulations. I am just an ordinary person for obtaining a rare level cultivation technique from the silver mystery box. Congratulations. I am just an ordinary person for obtaining a rare level weapon from the silver mystery box. Congratulations on obtaining a rare level medicinal pill. The 3 messages were sent out one after another. Apart from the bronze users, all the users were shocked. They rushed to the silver mystery box page and stared at the notification. After confirming that the user, I am just an ordinary person, had opened 10 consecutive boxes, they were all dumbfounded. Although the rate of getting rare level items from silver mystery boxes was slightly higher, that was still only relative to ordinary mystery boxes. Rare level items were still extremely hard to be obtained from opening 10 consecutive silver mystery boxes. Only by opening 100 consecutive boxes could one occasionally obtain a rare level item. However, this time, someone actually opened 3 rare level items in 10 consecutive boxes, one of which was even an item with 3rd level rarity. It was simply mind-blowing. For a moment, a large number of silver and gold users surged into the chat hall. Even platinum users appeared. Impressive. Isn't this I'm just an ordinary person too lucky? He actually got 3 rare level items out of 10 consecutive boxes? Damn, I tried 100 consecutive boxes and still haven't gotten a single rare level item. I'm so envious and jealous. I remember last time, this person even obtained a rare level cultivation technique. I seriously suspect that he's just hacking. I suspect so too. Alright, stop suspecting. If the software was hackable, there would be people getting rare level items every day. This guy is probably just someone with great luck. Zhou Hao naturally did not know that he had caused another commotion after opening the boxes. At this moment, he was a little dumbfounded when he saw the 3 rare level items. Although he had spent nearly 3 million luck points opening the mystery box this time, he had only expected to get 1 rare level item. However, he did not expect to get 3 rare level items out of the 10 consecutive boxes. After regaining his senses, he hurriedly returned to his personal page and opened his bag. Looking at the 3 items inside, he was excited, as expected of the overwhelming luck status. It's indeed awesome. Receive. Without hesitation, he immediately clicked to receive the items. Swoosh! An invisible energy surged out from the vast space and instantly enveloped Zhou Hao. Immediately, the 3rd level sky-splitting divine technique Zhou Hao received caused him to obtain a lot of mysterious experience points. His gaze became sharp, and his aura was incomparably sharp, like a divine saber that was about to be unsheathed. The king-level saber in his hand also suddenly changed. The saber was quickly covered in strange lines that were like scales. A blue bead gradually condensed on the handle and was embedded in it. The surface of the bead seemed to be ethereal as its material kept changing. Zhou Hao clenched his fist lightly and felt an energy surge out of the saber, making his blood essence tremble. He subconsciously slashed at the space in front of him. Chi! The space in front of him was like glass as fine cracks appeared, and then it quickly recovered. This is a 2nd level saber. Zhou Hao's eyes widened. He swore that he had really waved his hand casually just now. However, space actually did crack. Moreover, he had a feeling that the saber seemed to have a seal that was suppressing its strength. I wonder how powerful this sky-splitting divine technique will be when I use it with this saber. Zhou Hao wanted to give it a try. He had benefited a lot by opening the silver mystery boxes. Although he did not get the other 3rd level cultivation technique that he wanted, the weapon and the sky-splitting divine technique had surprised him. Retracting his emotions, Zhou Hao looked at the pill floating in front of him. This medicinal pill was round and simple, and it emitted a fragrance that seeped into the heart. With just a sniff, he felt comfortable. Divine Blood Pill, a high-level ancient auxiliary pill. It can greatly increase one's blood essence potential. After consuming it, one's strength will instantly increase by 2 levels without any side effects. Lasts for an hour. Note, the effect of the medicinal pill will fade, and there's a certain probability that it can increase cultivation level. As information surged in, his eyes revealed joy again. The medicinal effect of the Divine Blood Pill was far stronger than the Blood Explosion Pill. Not only could it increase the user by 2 levels, there was even a chance for the user to increase their cultivation level after consuming it. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, intense cannon fire sounded from the distant city. Zhou Hao's excitement was immediately interrupted. He couldn't help but look at the city from afar. He grabbed the medicinal pill and threw it into his backpack space. He then put away his saber and quickly returned to the city. He had gained a lot from opening the mystery box this time. Originally, he had not been confident in his ability to resist the beast wave attack, but now he was full of confidence. At the military camp of the East Station of the Huadong City, a large number of demon generals and demon soldiers attacked the defensive line crazily. Tap, tap, tap. The machine guns spat out bullets that killed countless demon soldiers. All kinds of demon beast limbs and blood splattered everywhere. Soon, they accumulated outside the defensive line. However, there were just too many demon warriors, and their speed was too fast. The first line of defense lasted for less than 5 minutes before the remaining soldiers had to retreat to the second line of defense. On the high wall of the defensive line, Commander Zhao's face darkened as he looked at the huge, overlord-level demon beast not far away. At present, only the demon generals and demon warriors were attacking. But the situation was already not optimistic. "Are there any updates on Senior Zhou's location?" he asked through his ear mic. "Commander, the energy of the 3 overlord-level demon beasts is too powerful. It's covering the entire outer perimeter of the city and has severely disrupted our signal." Upon hearing this, Commander Zhao's expression turned even gloomier. He regretted not insisting on making Senior Zhou stay behind earlier. Reporting to Commander, the second line of defense is about to collapse. The casualties of the soldiers have increased. We request for the Grand Masters to take action. The anxious voices of the other battalion commanders sounded in his ear mic. Commander Zhao said without thinking, "Request denied." It would take at least 20 minutes for the supernatural Grandmaster to arrive, and the Grandmaster was the last line of defense. After all, even the Demon Kings had yet to attack. If they hurriedly sent out the Grandmasters, it would be no different from quenching thirst with poison. Pooh! Pooh! Many soldiers below were torn to pieces by demon beasts. Occasionally, demon generals would rush to the high wall, but they were quickly torn apart by the cannon fire. Lu! At this moment, an ear-piercing sharp sound suddenly sounded from the sky. A large number of flying demon beasts swept towards the sky above the city defense line. Click! Large numbers of metal barrels appeared on the high walls. Tap, tap, tap! Like machine guns, these barrels fired bullets that enveloped these flying demon beasts like raindrops. For a moment, a large number of demon beast corpses fell. Rumble! The ground suddenly exploded, and tank-like scorpions appeared in front of the second line of defense, mincing a large number of soldiers into pieces as blood flowed into a river. "Insect race, you guys really came after all." Commander Zhao gritted his teeth. He knew that during the demon beast wave attack, the insect race would definitely not be willing to fall behind. He Biao, Zhenhong, you guys are to strictly guard against the iron armor worms entering the city through the underground tunnel. "Yes, Commander." Roar, roar. As a large number of insect beasts appeared, the overlord-level demon beasts that had been waiting behind suddenly let out loud roars. The king-level demon beasts responded one after another. Boom, boom. In an instant, more than 10 king-level demon beasts began to charge towards the city. "Is it going to start soon? Prepare the laser cannon." Commander Zhao, who was covered in armor, took out an incomparably sharp saber from his palm. At the top of the tall building in the city, huge laser weapons began to be charged. Fire! The king-level demon beast was extremely fast, and it rushed to the second line of defense in the blink of an eye. Commander Zhao immediately ordered, "Chi! Chi! Chi!" Beams of energy lasers were instantly activated. Almost instantly, the laser pierced through the heads of 7 to 8 king-level monsters. But some of the lasers still missed. Commander Zhao and the other fully armed Grandmasters rushed down and killed the remaining king-level demon beasts. In the sky, a large number of flying demon beasts were still charging. Although the cannon fire was dense, under the fearless charge of the flying demon beasts, hundreds of demon beasts still passed through the defensive line in the sky and flew towards the city. Commander Zhao was helpless against this and could only let the flying demon beasts wreak havoc. Reporting to Commander, a large number of insects have appeared on the East Station's North Station defense line. There are more than 1 million of them. Currently, the 2 or 3 lines of defense there are on the verge of collapse. requesting support. Just as he finished killing an injured king-level demon beast, Commander Zhao heard the emergency cry for help coming from his ear mic. Boom, boom, boom. At the South Station defense line of the city, the sound of artillery could be heard continuously. However, the 3 lines of defense outside the high wall had already completely collapsed. Large numbers of soldiers, demon beasts, and mutilated corpses covered the entire outer edge of the high wall, emitting a rich, bloody smell everywhere. Roar! Roar! 7 to 8 intermediate king-level demon beasts attacked the high wall crazily. In just dozens of seconds, a third of the 100-meter-tall metal wall shattered. Kill, kill. Even if we die, we can't let a single demon beast enter the city. Damn demon race. Don't even think about going past me. Kill these bastards. After the walls cracked, a large number of martial artists from the city and the military camp went crazy. They used their bodies to form a defense line to firmly resist the impact of the demon beasts. After the remaining soldiers ran out of bullets, they directly pounced forward to fight the demon warriors in close combat. Battalion Commander, quick, we can't hold on much longer. Requesting support. Battalion Commander Chu's ear mic kept ringing with the sounds of fighting. His armor was covered in blood as he roared. Where are we supposed to get support? The West Station's defense line has already collapsed. A large number of insect beasts have rushed into the city, and the pressure on the commander of the East Station is even greater. The Overlord-level demon beasts are eyeing us covetously. Tell me, who could support us? Silence immediately filled the ear mic, leaving only the roars of the demon beasts. At this moment, we can only risk our lives. Kill! No one retreated. Everyone knew that once the city was finished, they would also lose their home. Bam! Bam! Under the crazy collision of 7 to 8 king-level demon beasts, the iron-casting high wall slowly collapsed. The overwhelming demon warriors surged towards the collapse. Battalion Commander Chu felt despair when he saw this. It's over. Chi. However, at this moment, a saber beam suddenly appeared in the sky. The entire world was instantly covered by the saber beam. At the spot where the high wall collapsed, the large number of demon warriors that had just rushed over were instantly torn apart by the sharp saber beam. 3 king-level demon beasts didn't even have time to react before their bodies were directly divided into 2 halves and fell onto the ground with a bang. Their huge bodies happened to block the opening in the high wall. Battalion Commander Chu and the group of martial artists were equally as stunned. Soon, a red armored figure appeared in their sights. At the same time, a voice sounded in their ears. Sorry, I'm late. Battalion Commander Chu was the first to react. He danced around excitedly. It's Senior Zhou. Senior Zhou is still alive. The other martial artists also returned to their senses and were excited. Roar! Roar! The remaining 5 king-level demon beasts let out furious roars. Zhou Hao's gaze turned around, and he ordered, You guys quickly clear the demon warriors. I'll deal with these guys first. Senior Zhou, be careful. Before Battalion Commander Chu could finish speaking, he saw Zhou Hao flash, and 5 terrifying intermediate king-level demon beasts fell. It was as if Zhou Hao never left the ground. All the martial artists were stunned. He killed them just like that. Those were intermediate king-level demon beasts. All of them could not believe their eyes. Before they could react, Zhou Hao's figure flashed again. Pooh! 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 The saber beams spread out and connected together, flickering around a large number of demon generals like dazzling starlight. In less than half a minute, the thousands of demon generals outside the high wall fell. The hundreds of thousands of demon warriors were panic-stricken. Without the demon generals and demon kings helping them out, they no longer had the time to attack the high wall. One by one, they turned around and fled. When Zhou Hao saw this, he turned to look at Battalion Commander Chu. I can count on you guys to hold the South Station, right? Battalion Commander Chu and the other martial artists were still in a daze. Zhou Hao shook his head and glanced at the virtual screen, instantly shocked. Luck points, 115,700,000, current level. Achievable dreams. His luck points had actually broken through to 10 million. and the status seemed to have also increased to another level. Haha, a beast wave attack is indeed the best opportunity to accumulate luck points. Zhou Hao reacted and was excited. Usually, in the wilderness, if he wanted to kill a high-level demon general, he had to run around and search. Furthermore, if he killed too many, the other demon generals would definitely run. As for demon kings, they were intelligent beings. If they sensed him from afar, they would flee crazily. Therefore, not to mention accumulating more than 10 million luck points, even accumulating 1 million luck points was very difficult. However, a beast wave attack was different. During a wave attack, a large number of demon generals and demon kings would gather together. With the leadership of a demon overlord, they did not dare to escape at all, so it gave him the opportunity to accumulate his luck points crazily. Now, just by killing the demon beast army at the South Station, he had accumulated more than 10 million luck points. If he could kill all the demon beasts and insects that had attacked the city this time, Zhou Hao's eyes lit up. He wished he could immediately rush to the East Station and kill all the demon beasts. Senior Zhou, please answer if you hear me. At this moment, an intermittent voice sounded from the wireless channel. Zhou Hao's thoughts were interrupted. When he heard Commander Zhao's voice, he hurriedly replied, "Commander Zhao, how's the situation over there?" "That's great. Senior Zhou, you're not dead." "Thank God. Senior Zhou, you're still alive. The intelligence department is finally doing their job." He Biao and Zhang Hong's excited voices quickly sounded from the wireless channel. Commander Zhao also hurriedly said, "Senior Zhou, the East Station can still hold on for the time being." "Where are you?" Zhou Hao replied, "I'm at the South Station. I've already forced back the demon beast army and am about to go to your East Station." "What?" "The South Station's demon beast army was forced back." "Long live Senior Zhou." "Haha, Senior Zhou is indeed as valiant as usual." He Biao, Zhang Hong, and the other grandmasters shouted excitedly. Commander Zhao was also extremely excited, and the anxiety in his voice had eased up significantly. "Senior Zhou, the border defense line at the North Station and the West Station has also collapsed. A large number of insect beasts have rushed into the city. I can't afford to send anyone there, so I hope you can go and provide support." "What? You're saying that the West Station's defense line has collapsed?" Zhou Hao's body trembled. "What about the residents of the city?" Commander Zhao could tell that Zhou Hao was anxious. He hurriedly said, "Senior Zhou, don't worry. A large number of residents have been transferred to the ground, but a small number of them have not been transferred." Zhou Hao interrupted him. "I'll go over immediately." With that said, his figure disappeared from his original spot. Be it Chu City High School, Yang Garden Residence, or the location of the company his parents worked at, they were all located at the West Station. Now that the West Station's defense line had collapsed, a large number of insect beasts were wreaking havoc, and his parents were in danger. Boom! Boom! An extremely high sonic boom sounded as Zhou Hao rushed straight for the West Station like a rocket. Just as he arrived at the intersection of the West Station and the South Station, he saw a large number of insect beasts on the street. Many soldiers relied on obstacles on the street to defend themselves as they fired crazily to stop the insect beasts. Tanks and helicopters also bombarded the powerful insect beasts incessantly. Zhou Hao was extremely anxious. Before he rushed over, he had already called his parents, but there was still no response. Pooh! 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 In his anxiety, he directly rushed into the insect beast army, his saber quickly reaping countless insect beast lives. It's a Grandmaster. Our support has arrived. Brothers, charge. Charge, kill these insect race trash." The soldiers, who were originally resisting with great difficulty, saw the red figure that rushed into the insect beast army and killed the insect beasts like cutting melons and vegetables. All of them became excited and counterattacked crazily. Zhou Hao killed his way from the border to the main street of the West Station. He killed no less than hundreds of thousands of insects and beasts. He only stopped when he bumped into the command center of the West Station's defensive line. Division Leader Gong, who was wearing red armor, noticed that the number of attacking insect beasts had suddenly decreased as well, allowing them to feel less pressured. Only then did he see Zhou Hao, who was wearing red armor. He bowed excitedly. "Senior Zhou." Zhou Hao waved his hand casually and asked anxiously, "Division Leader Gong, have the students and residents of Chu City High School and Yang Garden residents been transferred?" Division Leader Gong was stunned for a moment before hurriedly finding the person in charge of this matter. "Senior Zhou, he's in charge of transferring the students and residents. You can ask him." The person bowed and hurriedly replied, "Sir, all the residents of the West Station have been evacuated. They are currently checking on residents to ensure the safety of every resident and student." Hearing this, Zhou Hao immediately heaved a sigh of relief. He remembered that there was an entrance to a special underground bomb shelter in Yang Garden residence. If everyone had been transferred, then his parents should be fine. Moreover, after killing his way here, he also realized that the insect beast wave attack had not reached Chu City High School and Yang Garden residence yet. "Well done." Zhou Hao's mood instantly improved as he praised. The staff member suppressed his excitement and said respectfully, "Thank you, sir. This is just part of my responsibility." Zhou Hao smiled and then looked at Division Leader Gong with a solemn expression. "Commander Zhao sent me to support the West Station. How's the situation now?" Division Leader Gong shook his head and sighed. "The situation is very bad. This time, there were more than 100 different types of insect beasts. Our soldiers have suffered a very serious loss, and we also lack martial artists. We're unable to resist. However, the main pressure is the dozen or so king-level insect beasts wreaking havoc on the Hongxing Avenue. Without a grandmaster, it will be very difficult for us to stop them." Zhou Hao nodded. "Hongxing Avenue?" As soon as he finished speaking, his figure vanished. Division Leader Gong smiled bitterly, speechlessly, thinking to himself that this senior Zhou was being too anxious. He had yet to finish speaking when the other party rushed over impatiently. Reporting to Battalion 113, more than 10 king-level demon beasts on Hongxing Avenue have been killed by a Grandmaster-level expert. Reporting completed. At this moment, a voice sounded in Division Leader Gong's ear mic. He could not help but widen his eyes. "What? The king-level demon beasts have been killed? This. Division Leader Gong, this Grandmaster who just helped us out, is very powerful. In less than 4 seconds, he killed more than 10 king-level demon beasts. Ha ha, our city is saved. Awesome. Formidable." Various praises sounded continuously from his ear mic. The dozens of battalion commanders in charge of the Hongxing Avenue were so excited that they were speechless. Division Leader Gong was dumbfounded. He was simply unable to imagine that in the time it took for him to speak, this senior Zhou had actually killed the terrifying king-level insect beast that the West Station was facing. In less than 4 seconds, returning to his senses, he hurriedly asked, "Where's that senior Zhou now?" Division Leader Gong, that senior Zhou said that he went to support the North Station. "Oh, right. Senior Zhou also finished off hundreds of high general-level insect beasts." The saber in Division Leader Gong's hand fell to the ground with a bang. At the North Station of the city, unlike the West Station, this was the disaster area for the insect beasts. Tap, tap, tap. Outside the street filled with bars. The sound of intense gunshots became softer and softer as a large number of soldiers were torn apart by the insect beasts. The armored martial artists could only constantly retreat and rely on the terrain to handle the insect beasts. In the corner of a bar, dozens of students trembled. These students were Yuan Cheng, Yin Yin, the other Yinjing geniuses, Su Ling, and the other students from Chu City High School. "It's the Red Beetle and the Sickle Foot. We're done for. We're done for. If I had known, I wouldn't have come to the Bra-Yuro-Woo-Woo. What are you crying for? It's useless to regret now. Besides, this is a special alert. It doesn't matter where we hide. It's useless." The students lowered their voices, unable to hide their anxiety and panic. When the city's alarm went off, they happened to be singing in the next room. Furthermore, because it was too noisy and everyone was drinking, no one heard the alarm. When they came out, they realized that everyone had already left. It was not until they encountered the government personnel in charge of evacuation that they learned that the city had been attacked by a beast wave attack. The North Station's defense line had collapsed too quickly. It was already too late for them to retreat and go underground. What should we do? Yin Yin and Fang Yu looked at Yuan Sheng. He was the strongest here. Through the window, Yuan Sheng looked at the large number of insect beasts wreaking havoc outside and frowned. We have to get everyone a set of armor now, or we won't be able to get out at all. Without armor to defend themselves, even martial artists would find it very difficult for them to unleash their strength. Moreover, they were all only students. Although they had recently undergone a lot of virtual combat training, it was still difficult for them to fight without armor. Su Ling bit her lower lip and shook her head with a sigh. There is armor on the corpses of the dead martial artists on the ground, but we need someone to get it. Yuan Sheng, Yun Yin, and the other Yinjing geniuses were all silent. They were all wearing armor. However, rushing out at this moment was no different from courting death. It had to be known that not only were there a large number of insect beasts outside the streets, but there were also many general-level insect beasts patrolling the streets. Once discovered, not to mention them, even a true master-level expert would be instantly swallowed by the insect beasts. After all, the insect race's strength was much more terrifying than the demon race. If the peerless genius of our school was here, he would definitely stand up for us. That's right. That peerless genius has never been afraid of death. I wonder if he's around. Many students started talking at once. Yuan Sheng, Yun Yin, and the other Yinjing geniuses had awkward expressions. They could hear the ridicule in the students' words, but it was too dangerous outside. They did not dare to take the risk of losing their lives. Boom, boom. A large number of red beetles and sickle legs rushed into the building to search for residents. Soon, more than 10 of them approached the bar. Yuan Sheng and the others immediately became nervous and afraid. These insect beasts were all low-level demon warriors, so it was not difficult to eliminate them. But as long as they attacked, the commotion here would definitely attract other insect beasts. Bang! Bang! Several insect beasts rushed in first and shattered the tables, chairs, and wine. Yuan Sheng, stop hesitating. Su Ling shouted. Let's go all out. Yuan Sheng also knew that if they continued to hesitate, the insect beasts would discover them. All of you, follow closely behind us. Once you rush out of the bar, immediately pick up those armor to protect yourself. With that said, his armor was revealed. With a roll of the saber in his hand, he directly killed the insect beast in front. Yin Yin and Fang Yu also rushed out and cooperated well to kill the other insect beasts. The remaining insect beasts sensed the commotion and let out sharp sounds. Swoosh! Swoosh! Many insect beasts that were wreaking havoc outside paused for a moment before charging towards the bar crazily. Run up! Yuan Sheng roared, and his figure rushed towards the remaining insect beasts in the bar with an afterimage. Su Ling was the first to rush out. She grabbed a table and chair and smashed an insect beast that was blocking the way away, escaping crazily towards the entrance of the bar. The other students followed closely behind and rushed out of the bar as fast as they could. They had to race against time. Once the insect beasts surrounded them, they would be finished. There were many pieces of armor that had been casually discarded on the streets. They were all left behind by the martial artists who had previously resisted the insect beasts. Su Ling and the other students rushed out of the bar and quickly picked up their armor. They activated the armor equipment and instantly covered their bodies. At this moment, many insects and beasts closest to the bar had already pounced over. Everyone, form a team. Don't panic, Su Ling shouted calmly. Pooh, pooh, pooh. Her saber slashed out rhythmically, and she quickly killed 3 warrior-level insect beasts. Although the other students were a little flustered at first, Instructor Shun's recent hellish training had improved their instincts. Therefore, they quickly formed a defensive line. After Yuan Qingyun and the other Yinjing geniuses rushed out of the bar, they heaved a sigh of relief. Quick, retreat to the highest building. Su Ling shouted anxiously. Swoosh! Swoosh! The other students hurriedly turned around and retreated. Yuan Sheng, Yun Yin, and the others were not weak. After cooperating with Su Ling to resist a wave of insect beasts, they also managed to turn around and escape towards the building. However, The insect beasts were too fast, especially the general-level insect beasts. After discovering Su Ling and the other students, they all ran over. In just more than 10 seconds, the group of students was forced to flee into a supermarket by the 3 general-level insect beasts. Boom, boom, boom. A large number of insect beasts followed closely and slammed against the supermarket door. It's over, it's over. We're all going to die. Woo, I don't want to die. Many students who had escaped to the 3rd floor of the supermarket looked at the dense swarm of insect beasts below and couldn't help but cry. Yuan Cheng and the other Yinjing geniuses gritted their teeth and killed the insect beasts that rushed up the elevator. However, there were too many insect beasts, and the students' physical strength gradually became exhausted. One by one, they were sent flying by the insect beasts and smashed onto the shelves. The other students hiding behind couldn't help but exclaim when they saw so many insect beasts. Let's fight it out with them. Even if I die, I'll drag a few of them down with me. Some boys looked at each other and gritted their teeth as they rushed up. However, just as they rushed out, they saw 3 general-level insect beasts jump out at them. Their huge bodies were like tanks as they blocked the elevator entrance. Seeing this, the boys who had just aroused their courage immediately became listless. Bang! The general-level red beetle's iron-like limbs suddenly smashed, sending more than 10 students flying. Yuan Cheng, Su Ling, and the other students struggled to stand up. Seeing this, they all smiled bitterly. We're done for this time. With that said, they all closed their eyes. Facing a general-level insect beast, they were unable to resist at all. They could only wait for death. Swoosh! Just as the general-level red beetle was about to tear Yuan Cheng and the others into pieces, a sharp saber aura suddenly swept over. Pooh! 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 The 3 insect generals, as well as the insect beasts, were all sliced into 2. The students who were originally prepared to die were stunned when they saw this. An expert has arrived. It's a grandmaster. It must be a grandmaster-level expert. That's great. We don't have to die anymore. Many students reacted and immediately jumped up in excitement. Yuan Cheng, Yin Yin, Su Ling, and the others also had joyful expressions on their faces. Let's go out and take a look. After waiting for a moment and seeing no sign of the expert, they hesitated for a moment and walked out of the supermarket as they stepped on insect beast limbs. However, just as they reached the entrance of the supermarket, they were immediately stunned. The streets were filled with large numbers of insect beast corpses. Heavens! How many insect beasts did this expert kill? Damn, look, these insect beasts were all sliced into 2. What kind of expert is this? How terrifying! Su Ling and the other students soon realized that the insect beasts on the ground were the same as the ones in the supermarket. They were all sliced in half, and their eyes were filled with shock. Supernatural. He's definitely a supernatural expert. That's right. Only a supernatural expert can do something like this. Yuan Cheng and the other Yinjing geniuses worshipped him excitedly. A supernatural grandmaster. That was a peerless expert that stood at the peak of humanity. Rumble. At this moment, a few helicopters landed and a group of soldiers walked out. Students, you're safe now. Most of the insect beasts in the North Station have been cleaned. We'll immediately send you to the hospital if you're injured. A captain soldier walked out of the cabin and said loudly. Yes, many of our students are injured. Many students spoke up. Yuan Cheng and the other geniuses couldn't help but ask, Sir, didn't the North Station's defense line collapse? I heard that nearly 1 million insect beasts surged in. Were the insect beasts all killed? The captain nodded and sighed. It's not only the North Station. Almost all the insect beasts at the West Station have been cleaned up by Senior Zhou. Now, Senior Zhou has rushed to the East Station to provide support. What? Nearly 1 million insect beasts were killed by a single person. Yuan Cheng, Yun Yin, and the others' mouths gaped open. The captain smiled and said, That's right. I still can't believe it, but I saw with my own eyes when Senior Zhou slashed at those insect beasts as if they were grass. It was simply abnormal. With such an invincible expert in the city, we don't have to worry about the beast wave attack anymore. Yuan Cheng and the others were all stunned. at the East Station defense line. Roar, roar, roar. A large number of king-level demon beasts attacked crazily. Although the laser cannon had killed more than 30 demon kings, there were too many demon kings in the East Station. Furthermore, towards the end, the laser cannon's energy was becoming insufficient. Commander Zhao and the other Grandmasters were all injured as they gritted their teeth and persisted. Of the 4 lines of defense, the East Station was the most well-guarded. However, the main attack of the Beast Wave attack this time was also the East Station. Roar! Suddenly, a world-shaking roar sounded. Swoosh! Swoosh! The countless demon warriors and demon kings retreated. When Commander Zhao and the other Grandmasters saw this, their bodies trembled instead of revealing joy. They knew that the terrifying demon overlords could no longer hold back. Indeed, a giant bear covered in black scales stepped on the ground and crossed to the iron high wall in a few steps. Roar! It looked up and roared, its voice tearing through the world and enveloping the entire city. Commander Zhao's expression changed drastically as he gritted his teeth. Prepare the laser rail cannon. Facing an overlord-level existence, they, the Grandmasters, were no match at all and could only rely on the laser rail cannon. However, as soon as Leader Zhao finished speaking, the weapons and equipment department did not respond at all. Prepare the laser rail cannon. Leader Zhao shouted again. There was still no response. He Biao, Zhang Hong, and the other Grandmasters were all stunned. What happened? Bang! The Overlord-level bear's paws smashed down, breaking the hard high wall like tofu. Immediately, nearly a third of the high wall defense line collapsed. TSK, Commander Zhao, your Huadong city sure is bold to dare to uproot our dark god stronghold. Now, enjoy our revenge. Buzz. A cold voice sounded in Commander Zhao's ear mic. Dark gods. Commander Zhao's furious voice sounded through his gritted teeth. At this critical moment, the Dark Gods had actually destroyed the most important laser rail cannon in the city. This undoubtedly doomed them all. The other Grandmasters were stunned when they heard Commander Zhao's words. However, when they regained their senses, they all became furious. Clearly, they understood why the laser rail cannon team did not respond. However, at this moment, no matter how furious they were, there was no point in hating the Dark Gods. Commander Zhao and the other Grandmasters naturally understood this. Therefore, they could only suppress the anger in their hearts as they watched the Overlord-level demon beast crazily destroy the high wall defense line. They all thought hard to come up with a solution. Boom! At this moment, a stream of light quickly streaked over from the horizon and landed beside Commander Zhao and the others. This figure was wearing a blue-tight protective suit. His face was thin, but his skin was as fair as a baby's. His entire body did not seem to have any aura, but as he stood there, he was like a mountain that made people worship and revere him. Senior Han. Commander Zhao was stunned for a moment before being pleasantly surprised. It's the supernatural Grandmaster, Han Pu. He actually arrived early. That's great. The other Grandmasters, including He Biao, revealed excited expressions. Every supernatural expert was the pillar of the human race. They could fight terrifying demon overlords and charge to the front lines to make huge contributions to the human race. Han Pu heaved a sigh of relief. Looking at the terrible situation in front of him, he said with some fear, I rushed over at full speed as soon as I received the emergency distress signal from you, Commander Zhao. Fortunately, I was not too far from Huadong City. Otherwise, judging from the situation, even if I rushed over, the Huadong City would be finished. Commander Zhao said excitedly. It is indeed very fortunate, Senior Han. Let's put the small talk aside for now. Now that the city is in danger, the 3 Overlord-level demon beasts have to be dealt with as soon as possible. Han Pu nodded and quickly condensed a spear made of special metal. Commander Zhao, regroup and form the defensive line as soon as possible. Block the opening. Leave these 3 demon overlords to me, he said quickly. All right. Thank you, Senior Han. Commander Zhao heard the confidence in Han Pu's voice and could not help but heave a sigh of relief. Boom! Boom! Immediately, he Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other grandmasters rushed to the openings of the defensive line to resist a large number of demon beasts. Han Pu charged towards the giant bear. With a low shout, Han Pu rushed into the air. The spear in his hand suddenly emitted countless golden lights. These lights were like feathers as they pierced towards the giant bear. Pu! 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 Countless bloody holes appeared on the giant bear's body as it roared in pain. The other two demon overlords, a giant snake and a giant alligator, also moved. They surrounded and attacked for both sides. You want to surround me? Han Pu sneered in his heart. He stepped on the giant bear's shoulder and ejected with a bang, escaping like a rocket. Then, he turned around and stabbed again. The spear exploded with a bang and pierced through one of the giant alligator's legs like a pillar of light. The huge alligator roared and swept its tail at Han Pu like a long whip. Facing the huge alligator's lightning-like whip, Han Pu, who was floating in the air, moved away. Although Commander Zhao and the others were blocking a large number of demon beasts, their attention was still focused on Han Pu, who was fighting 3 Overlord-level demon beasts. Beautiful! Haha! As expected of a supernatural grandmaster. Only supernatural experts can move and dodge freely in the air. He Biao and the other grandmasters could not help but praise. Zhou Hao, who had just arrived at the defensive line of the East Station, heard a sound from his ear mic. He could not help but look at Han Pu, who was fighting against the 3 demon beasts outside the high wall and was not at a disadvantage. Is this what a supernatural grandmaster is like? He's indeed very strong. A smile appeared on his face. Although he had opened the mystery box and obtained the sky-splitting divine technique and the god-slaying saber and was not at all inferior to a supernatural grandmaster, Zhou Hao was still happy to have the support of a supernatural expert. He opened the virtual screen and looked at the bottom right corner. Luck points, 227, 13, 200, current level, achievable dreams. After destroying the insect race army at the West Station and North Station, Zhou Hao had accumulated another 10 million luck points. However, because the strength of the insect race mainly relied on the bulk of its low-level insect beasts, there were not many powerful king-level and general-level insect beasts. Otherwise, the luck points Zhou Hao obtained from killing the insect race army would have been more than 10 million. I've struck gold this time. Zhou Hao was in a good mood. With more than 20 million luck points, it meant that Zhou Hao could get almost all the top-grade items in the silver mystery box. Moreover, there were still many demon beasts outside the defense line of the East Station, especially general-level demon beasts. Those were the ones that gave Zhou Hao the most luck points. Swoosh! He rushed to Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters. Senior Zhou, why did you come to the East Station? How's the situation at the West Station and North Station? He Biao and the other grandmasters asked anxiously. They had not forgotten that the beast wave attack this time was a joint attack by the demon beasts and insect beasts. Zhou Hao smiled and said, "It's already been resolved. There aren't many powerful insect beasts at the North Station." Upon hearing this, Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters immediately relaxed. The powerful demon beast and insect beast that had been attacking the 3 lines of defense of the West Station and North Station had been dealt with. Now, even the Overlord-level demon beasts of the East Station were being resisted by Senior Han. At this point, the safety of the city was basically guaranteed. Reporting to Commander, the large number of insect beasts at the West Station has been cleaned up. Reporting to Commander, the large number of insect beasts at the North Station has been cleaned up. The military personnel from the 2 stations had also completely cleaned up the remaining insect beasts. Commander Zhao was stunned. Division Leader Gong, Division Leader Zhu, are you sure you've finished clearing the insect beast army? There are nearly 1 million of them. Commander, the senior Zhou that you sent to support us is too valiant. He killed most of the insect beasts alone. The rest that were left behind were naturally easy to deal with. Yeah, if not for the fear of disturbing you, Commander, we would have reported it long ago. Division Leader Gong and Division Leader Zhu, who were in charge of the West and North Station's defense lines, laughed. Only then did Commander Zhao shift his gaze to Zhou Hao again and ask in disbelief, "Lord, Senior Zhou, you killed all the insect beasts at the North Station." He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other Grandmasters were also stunned when they heard this. They all looked at Zhou Hao. Just like Commander Zhao, they thought that Zhou Hao had only dealt with the insect generals. But now, it seemed that wasn't the case. Zhou Hao smiled and said, "That's right. I got bored after killing all the insect generals, so I decided to kill those low-level insect beasts as well." As soon as he said this, He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other Grandmasters were completely dumbfounded. They did not doubt Zhou Hao's words at all, because they had witnessed Zhou Hao's strength before. Moreover, they simply felt that someone so powerful had no reason to lie. In other words, Zhou Hao had really killed nearly 1,000,000 insect beasts on his own. Most importantly, it had only taken less than 10 minutes. There were nearly 1,000,000 of them. Even if it was up to the Grandmasters, with the efficiency of killing 1,000 insect beasts in a minute, it would still take them a total of 15 to 16 hours. Senior Zhou, are you a monster? This is too. I'm completely convinced. He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other Grandmasters were at a loss for words. Commander Zhao was also speechless. Zhou Hao's performance was too powerful. To a certain extent, he was even more abnormal than a supernatural Grandmaster. After all, even if he was a supernatural Grandmaster, it was still impossible for him to kill nearly 1,000,000 insect beasts in such a short period of time. You're too kind. It's actually nothing. I just learned a secret technique that allows me to kill enemies in a wide range. Zhou Hao said as he slashed out like a demonstration. Swoosh! A terrifying saber aura swept out quickly with a sharp tearing intent. The tens of thousands demon warriors and hundreds of demon generals in front of him were instantly slashed in half by the saber aura. The high walls that had collapsed were instantly cleared. Commander Zhao, He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other Grandmasters were completely dumbfounded when they saw this. Their mouths gaped open. Roar! Roar! However, at this moment, the 3 terrifying Overlord-level demon beasts roared angrily, their bodies suddenly emitting an extremely large amount of energy. This energy instantly condensed into flames, poisonous fog, water arrows, and other large-scale attacks. They quickly spread across the entire sky, drowning the supernatural expert, Han Pu. Commander Zhao and the others did not have the time to be shocked as they shouted worriedly, "Senior Han." Zhou Hao was also shocked. He did not expect that the innate divine power unleashed by a demon overlord would be even more terrifying than the 7-tailed cloud mink he had killed last time. They could even affect the spatial environment. Boom! Suddenly, a golden light flashed from the area enveloped by the flames, poison, and water arrows. Han Pu, who was covered in light, rushed out. The blue tight suit on his body was like a spider as dozens of blue tentacles shot out and locked onto the bear's head. Then, with a pull, Han Pu himself directly rushed out of the encirclement. Commander Zhao and the other Grandmasters heaved a sigh of relief when they saw this. Boom! However, at this moment, in the area covered by the flames, poison, and water arrows, a palm hundreds of meters wide suddenly condensed and slapped towards Han Pu. With this slap, the air in the entire world froze. Han Pu turned around, his pupils constricting extremely as he said in fear, "A high-level overlord." As soon as he finished speaking, the palm slapped down. Han Pu's body was directly slapped to the ground, creating a huge pit almost 1,000 meters tall. Bang! 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 Immediately after, the ground shook crazily like a level 10 earthquake. Zhou Hao and the others couldn't help but look at the wilderness area. They saw a 1,000-meter-tall, mink-shaped creature slowly walking over on the ground. With every step, it crossed 10,000 meters. In the blink of an eye, the Cloud Mink King arrived outside the high wall. Cough, cough, this is the Cloud Mink King. Han Pu struggled to stand up from the huge pit. His face was covered in blood, and his eyes were filled with despair. Commander Zhao, why? why have you provoked a demon beast of this level? Commander Zhao's body trembled. Could it be because we killed the seven-tailed cloud mink? It was probably a direct descendant of the cloud mink king. He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other grandmasters also came to a realization. No wonder terrifying demon overlords appeared in this beast wave attack. It turned out that they were being controlled by a high-level overlord beast, Cloud Mink King. It's over. The Cloud Mink King is a powerful presence in the area around Huadong City. Even supernatural experts don't dare to casually provoke this beast. I didn't expect us to provoke such an existence. The grandmasters, who had just seen hope, instantly fell into despair. Even a supernatural expert, Han Pu, could do nothing. They could only wait for death. If the laser rail cannon was still here, we could have relied on that weapon to fight to the death. Unfortunately, Commander Zhao gritted his teeth. At this moment, he hated the dark gods to the core. However, he also knew that if the dark gods hadn't destroyed the laser rail cannon, the Cloud Mink King probably wouldn't have appeared. The 1,000-meter-tall Cloud Mink King swept its cold gaze across these human experts. A group of ants actually dared to kill the direct descendant of my Cloud Mink race. You guys must be really tired of living. From today onwards, the Huadong City will cease to exist. Roar, roar, roar. The three overlord-level powerful demon beasts roared one after another, and the remaining hundreds of thousands of demon beasts also roared together. The beast roars shook the heavens and the earth. Looks like I have to do it myself. But that's good too. I was the one who killed the seven-tailed cloud mink. Since you're its senior, I can only kill you too. Suddenly, a faint voice sounded. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Not only did Commander Zhao and the others look towards the source of the voice, the Cloud Mink King, the three demon overlords, and the other king-level demon beasts also looked over. Zhou Hao slowly took a few steps forward in red armor. The Cloud Mink King's cold eyes were void of emotion. It said coldly, "Was it you who killed my descendant? You insignificant ant." "That's right." Zhou Hao nodded, but his attention was focused on the virtual screen of the Heaven Dao software. Luck points, 234, 13, 200, current level, achievable dreams. In just half a minute, his luck points had increased by nearly 700,000 again. Hee, do you really think you can kill me? The Cloud Mink King's cold voice was filled with disdain. Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters all shook their heads. Even the extraordinary grandmaster, Han Pu, was not a match for the Cloud Mink King. Even if Senior Zhou had done many impressive deeds, they still did not believe that he could resist the Cloud Mink King, who was a high-level demon overlord. Senior Zhou, come back quickly. We'll fight to the death. You and Senior Han will take the opportunity to escape and prepare to rebuild the Huadong City. That's right, Senior Zhou, don't be rash. Senior Han is an extraordinary expert after all and has many methods. He should be able to escape with you. He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the other grandmasters shouted anxiously. Zhou Hao had helped the Huadong City enough. They did not want to see him die here. However, Zhou Hao was unmoved. He raised his eyes and looked indifferently at the Cloud Mink King. He said casually, "How would I know if I don't try?" As Zhou Hao spoke, he quickly filled in the boxes of cultivation techniques, medicinal pills, and weapons. Then he spent more than 20 million luck points in an instant. I hope the system won't disappoint me. After all, my status says achievable dreams. At that moment, Zhou Hao took a deep breath and his heart raced. He stared intently at the silver mystery box. 10 consecutive boxes. As he clicked on it subconsciously, the silver mystery box directly occupied the entire virtual screen. It quickly spun before exploding. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining a rare top-grade cultivation technique. 9 revolutions golden body art from the silver mystery box. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining a rare top-grade weapon. The black tortoise divine turtle armor from the silver mystery box. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining 1,000 roses. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining 1,000 Heaven Dao coins. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining a rare top-grade primordial blood pill. The items have been placed in your backpack. Please take note. The system announcement kept reminding him. At the same time, a public announcement appeared in the system. Congratulations, user. I am just an ordinary person for obtaining a third-level cultivation technique in the silver mystery box. Congratulations for obtaining a third-level weapon. Congratulations for obtaining a third-level medicinal pill. In less than half an hour, the system sent 3 consecutive messages. Damn, it's this. I'm just an ordinary person again. What? Is this guy even human? How could he obtain 3 rare level items? How was this possible? How on earth did this person do it? I admit that I'm really jealous. What the heck? Why? Why does he get to obtain so many rare level items when I can't even get a single one? This time, a large number of users in the software went wild. Zhou Hao had gotten 6 rare level items in a single day. Zhou Hao caused quite a stir. However, at this moment, he did not have the time to care about this. After obtaining 3 rare level items, he heaved a sigh of relief. I spent more than 20 million luck points. I've accomplished my goal. It was worth it. Zhou Hao did not forget his situation. He hurriedly turned to his personal page and prepared to extract the 3 items. The moment Zhou Hao clicked on the 9 Revolutions Golden Body Art, information surged in. The 9 Revolutions Golden Body Art is a peerless physical establishment cultivation technique from the ancient primordial era. This cultivation technique is powerful and terrifying. Regular mystery boxes only allow up to 3 revolutions, while silver mystery boxes allow up to 6 revolutions. Please note, upon seeing this, Zhou Hao immediately cursed, "Damn, what a scam." Humans always boast shamelessly, but their endings are usually very tragic. Today, you will end up dead in my hands, just like those other human experts. The Cloud Mink King's cold voice sounded again. As it spoke, it raised its huge claw and slapped down. Boom! The surrounding airflow froze as a terrifying pressure descended from the sky. Zhou Hao instantly felt as if his body was pressed down by a mountain and felt like he was ceaselessly sinking. It was as if his skin and bones had been broken. Without having the time to continue cursing and checking the information, he hurriedly received the 9 Revolutions Golden Body Art, incomplete, the Black Tortoise Divine Armor, and the Primordial Blood Pill. Boom! At this moment, the Cloud Mink King's huge claw had already swatted down. Senior Zhou, damn it, Cloud Mink King. Commander Zhao and the others watched as the spot where Zhou Hao was standing instantly turned into a huge pit. All of them were heartbroken. After all, Zhou Hao was not a supernatural expert and did not have a powerful protective suit. Facing the Cloud Mink King's attack, he was simply unable to withstand it. Han Pu was currently heavily injured and had no strength to save Zhou Hao. He could only watch as the expert died under the Cloud Mink King's huge claw. In the huge pit, the black tortoise-set armor on Zhou Hao's body transformed in an instant. The special stretchable material was instantly covered in an ancient turtle shell pattern. This pattern emitted an ancient aura, as if it was a divine turtle that was absorbing the essence of the sun and moon. At the same time, the Dragon Elephant Wisdom technique caused Zhou Hao's blood essence to undergo a crazy transformation. Zhou Hao's bones and meridians were instantly covered in a dark gold color. His blood was as viscous as mercury, and his heart beat extremely slowly. However, with every beat, the surrounding air trembled. First revolution. Under the huge claw, Zhou Hao shouted. All the bones in his body emitted cracking sounds, as his body emitted a strength that was even more terrifying than the ancient dragon elephant figure. Second revolution. The blood in his entire body circulated faster and gradually began to boil. The dark gold color in his bones and meridians deepened again. Third revolution. The viscous blood was mixed with a dark golden color. As it boiled, a monstrous strength surged, as if an ancient divine dragon had awoken. His bones and meridians gradually turned golden. Boom! As Zhou Hao completed his third revolution, he raised his fist and punched it lightly. A supreme force that was like a tsunami storm directly pierced through the Cloud Mink King's huge claw. At the same time, an incomparably terrifying force swept out. The 1,000-meter-tall Cloud Mink King was sent flying hundreds of meters away, as if it had been struck by a giant hammer that was 10 times its size. The other 3 powerful Overlord-level demon beasts were also blasted flying by the aftershock of the collision, and they smashed into the ground beside the Cloud Mink King. As for the other hundreds of thousands of demon beasts, they were instantly crushed into pieces of meat by the terrifying pressure. Only the king-level demon beasts could barely support themselves as they were sent flying. The high wall defense behind them also collapsed like bubbles. However, Zhou Hao controlled himself in time and did not let the aftermath of the collision affect Commander Zhao and the others. Then, Zhou Hao leaped out and slowly landed on the ground. The tip of his foot stomped lightly on the ground, and his figure flashed in front of the Cloud Mink King's enormous body in the blink of an eye. As he looked at the Cloud Mink King that was covered in blood, he said indifferently, "Cloud Mink King, it seems that you're just as weak as your descendant. You're both trash that can't even withstand a single blow." The Cloud Mink King was instantly furious. Its 1,000-meter-tall body struggled to stand up. And, just as it spoke, Zhou Hao slashed out with his saber. Swoosh! A spatial rift almost 100 meters in length instantly appeared, and a terrifying, tearing aura enveloped the Cloud Mink King. "And how dare you do this to me?" Before the Cloud Mink King could finish speaking, its head and body quickly separated, falling down and rolling in front of Zhou Hao. Slap! Zhou Hao stomped over and crushed the Cloud Mink King's head as if he was stepping on a cockroach. The other 3 Overlord-level demon beasts were so frightened by this terrifying scene that their souls flew away. They scrambled and escaped frantically. Chi! Chi! Saber light appeared and directly cut their bodies into 2. Blood splattered across the wilderness. After killing the most threatening Cloud Mink King and the 3 feudal Overlord-level demon beasts, Zhou Hao turned around and strode towards the dozens of king-level demon beasts. These king-level demon beasts were intelligent. At this moment, they did not dare to make the slightest movement and prostrated themselves on the ground. Spare us. Senior Zhou, please spare us. We are willing to be your mounts." Yes, we are willing to be your mounts forever." When Zhou Hao heard the demon kings beg for mercy, he scoffed. "There are so many of you. I don't need so many mounts. Choose me. I'm the softest and most comfortable to sit on. I was born to be a mount. Sir, look at me. The hair on my back is very soft. You can even put a saddle on me." The demon kings shouted one after another. At this moment, Han Pu, Zhao, He Biao, Zhan Hong, and the others were all standing rooted to the ground like wooden sculptures. The only thing on their minds was how Zhou Hao completely blew their expectations. Not only did Zhou Hao not die, but he even easily killed the insufferably powerful high-level overlord, the Cloud Mink King. And now, the Demon Kings were so scared they were even begging to be his mount. What happened in the last 10 seconds made them feel like they were in a dream. Han Pu was the first to recover from his shock. He stared fixedly at the red figure standing in front of dozens of huge king-level beasts. A 9th-grade supernatural grandmaster. This senior is definitely a peak-level 9th-grade supernatural grandmaster, he shouted crazily with admiration on his face. Only then did Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters react. All of them looked at Han Pu, their eyes subconsciously revealing confusion. "Senior Han, what is a 9th-grade supernatural grandmaster?" Commander Zhao couldn't help but ask. Han Pu looked back at Commander Zhao, took a deep breath, and slowly said, "The supernatural level has 9 grades, from the 1st grade to the 9th grade. And the difference in strength between each grade of a supernatural expert is incredibly huge. A 3rd-grade supernatural expert like me can easily deal with or even kill low-level, overlord-level demon beasts and insects, as well as supernatural experts of the machine race. And supernatural grandmasters of the 3rd to 6th grade can kill intermediate-level, overlord-level beasts. Some with extremely strong combat strength can even contend with high-level, overlord-level demon beasts. At this point, he paused for a moment and cast his gaze at Zhou Hao, his eyes burning. But to kill a high-level demon overlord, only supernatural experts above the 6th grade can do it. This senior seems to have not used his full strength to kill the Cloud Mink King just now. This shows that he is definitely a peak-level, 9th grade supernatural grandmaster. After hearing this, the grandmasters came to a realization. Among them, Zhou Hao could not help but ask anxiously, "Senior Han, may I know how many 9th grade supernatural experts there are in our country?" Commander Zhao glared at him. He didn't think that it was appropriate to ask for such classified information. However, Han Pu did not mind. He shook his head and said, "It's extremely difficult for supernatural experts to make any small advancement. They require a large number of precious resources, but many of these resources are in the hands of the foreign races. Therefore, not only in our country, but even in the entire world, there aren't many experts who have broken through to this supernatural level." He sighed and continued, "As for the top supernatural experts above the 6th grade, their numbers are even fewer. 9th grade supernatural grandmasters who are able to easily kill a high-level overlord are almost as rare as a phoenix feather or a Qilin horn." The grandmasters were stunned before looking at Zhou Hao. Does that mean that Senior Zhou's strength is already at the peak of the human race? They were somewhat in disbelief. After all, during this period of time, they had often hunted and cleaned the wilderness with Senior Zhou and had even participated in the cleanup operation together. Even though Senior Zhou's performance indeed proved that he was very strong, they only thought that he had the strength of a peak-level grandmaster. In the end, they were told that Senior Zhou was actually a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert. This shock was not inferior to the shock they felt when they saw Zhou Hao kill the high-level, overlord-level Cloud Mink King. Hearing the tone of Commander Zhao and the others, Han Pu snorted in dissatisfaction. "What? Do you not believe me?" Although I, Han Pu, am only a 3rd grade supernatural expert, I can't even tell a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert when I see one." Commander Zhao hurriedly said, "Senior Han, you're mistaken. We just don't dare to believe it." He Biao, Zhou Hao, and the others hurriedly explained, "That's right. We've also interacted with Senior Zhou for some time, but we've never seen him explode with such strength." Han Pu glanced at Commander Zhao and the others and said indifferently, "Each of the peak-level 9th grade supernatural experts is a treasure of our human race, so how could they easily expose themselves? This Senior Zhou must be deliberately suppressing his strength because he doesn't want to attract the attention of the powerful foreign races." Yes, Senior Han is right. Zhou Hao, He Biao, and the others thought of Zhou Hao's performance these days and could not help but come to a realization. No wonder Senior Zhou cleared the wilderness area so quickly and even killed the 7-tailed cloud mink so easily. It turned out that he was a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert. It's really a huge honor for your Huadong city to have a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert. As Han Pu spoke, he became envious. Even I rarely come into contact with a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert. Commander Zhao, the few of you actually interacted with such an expert for an extended period of time. You guys were quite fortunate." Commander Zhao and the others pondered for a moment before their eyes lit up. They smiled and said, "Senior Han, you're right. We were very lucky. Yeah, very lucky indeed." Zhou Hao did not know that he would be falsely identified as a peak-level 9th grade supernatural expert after killing the high-level demon Overlord Cloud Mink King. At this moment, he looked at the 52 king-level demon beasts in front of him and felt somewhat worried. Zhou Hao glanced at the bottom right corner of the virtual screen. Luck points: 427, 19, 600, current level. Achievable dreams. After killing hundreds of thousands of demon beasts and 3 demon overlords, his luck points soared to more than 40 million. Therefore, for the time being, he did not lack luck points. And if he killed all 52 king-level demon beasts, he would at most get around 6 million luck points. Compared to the 40 million luck points, 6 million was only icing on the cake. Therefore, he indeed found it difficult to deal with these demon kings. After hesitating for a moment, Zhou Hao turned around and looked at Commander Zhao and the others who were talking in low voices. His figure flashed in front of them. Senior Zhou, Senior Zhou. Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters hurriedly bowed respectfully. Senior Zhou, if I had known that the Huadong city had a peak-level 9th-grade supernatural expert like you, I would have been relieved. Han Pu also went forward and said respectfully, Me? A 9th-grade supernatural expert? Zhou Hao was stunned. He wondered when he had become a supernatural expert and what Han Pu meant by the 9th grade. Suppressing his doubts, he asked, Senior Han, Commander Zhao. Han Pu hurriedly waved his hand. Lord Zhou, just call me Han Pu or Little Han. Commander Zhao also added, That's right. Senior Zhou, you're too polite. Just call me Little Zhao from now on. The corner of Zhou Hao's mouth twitched. He did not understand why Commander Zhao was suddenly so respectful. Zhou Hao figured that it probably had to do with his killing of the demon overlord just now. After thinking about it, he decided that that was the only possible reason. He shook his head and changed his tone. Little Han, Little Zhao, what do you plan to do with these king-level demon beasts? As he spoke, he added, It's a pity to kill them. After all, the beast wave attack has accumulated too many demon beast materials this time. It's meaningless to kill 52 more. Han Pu nodded repeatedly. Senior Zhou is right. The value of 52 king-level demon beasts is huge. Isn't it a little wasteful to just kill them for materials extraction? It's better if we find some other way to take advantage of them. Upon hearing this, Zhou Hao, Commander Zhao, and the others looked at Han Pu. In terms of foresight and experience, it was obvious that the geniuses who had reached the supernatural level were far superior to them. Han Pu continued, Everyone, you might not know this, but the intelligence of a king-level demon beast is not low. Moreover, its aura pressure can intimidate low-level demon beasts, and its speed is also extremely fast. If they were used as transport tools, you could avoid a lot of trouble. In the frontline fortresses near the spatial rifts, they have been coming up with different ways of using the demon beasts as transport tools. It's very effective. Zhou Hao's eyes immediately revealed interest. In 100 years since the cataclysm caused the world to go through a major change, the various bases have been separated by countless wilderness areas that were filled with large numbers of foreign races. Since then, transportation became extremely inconvenient. For example, Instructor Shun, Yuan Cheng, and the other Yinjing geniuses had to spend a lot of effort to arrive at the Huadong city, and this was even when the Huadong city was not far from Yinjing City. Traveling from Yinjing City to Huanan City was even more troublesome. Not to mention the Yinjing geniuses, even Instructor Shun would have to apply if he wanted to go there. Therefore, according to Han Pu, using a king-level demon beast as a transport tool was indeed a good idea. Little Han, those demon kings just now all wanted to be my mount, but if it were any other expert, then they might not be able to suppress the demon kings. Zhou Hao said, feeling a little uncomfortable. Commander Zhao and the others also nodded and said, That's right, Senior Han. How could a king-level demon beast be willing to be a transport tool for us humans? Han Pu smiled and said, This isn't difficult. King-level demon beasts are also afraid of death. The frontline fortress base has invented a special chip after studying some techniques of the machine race. As long as this chip is embedded into the demon beast's brain, it can be controlled by special energy fluctuations. With Senior Zhou here right now, I believe those demon kings will be willing to allow us to embed chips into them. Commander Zhao said in surprise, I didn't know such technology existed. Han Pu nodded. The technology of the machine race is indeed very advanced. After researching their technology, we were able to make a technological breakthrough. Zhou Hao frowned and said, Could the foreign races use the chips to take advantage of us? Senior Zhou, don't worry about this. To be controlled by the chip, one has to be willing, and special methods are also required. Otherwise, if the target shows any signs of resisting, the special energy waves of the chip will be disturbed. Han Pu hurriedly explained. Only then did Zhou Hao feel relieved. In that case, little Han, I'll have to trouble you to get some chips. Han Pu smiled and said, Don't worry. If the frontline fortress near the spatial rift knows that the beast wave attack has been dealt with in Huadong City and that more than 50 king-level demon beasts have been captured, they will definitely be willing to support the chips. Commander Zhao and the others immediately laughed. This is all thanks to Senior Zhou and Senior Han. That's right. If not for the two supernatural experts, our Huadong City would have been done for this time. Han Pu shook his head. I didn't help much. If not for Senior Zhou, I would have died here too. A high-level demon overlord like the Cloud, Mink King, rarely attacks cities. All right, I won't stay any longer. I have to return to Yinjing City as soon as possible and report the situation here before heading to the frontline fortress. With that said, Han Pu soared into the sky and quickly disappeared. Zhou Hao looked at the collapsed high walls and sighed. Although the beast wave attack this time resolved the disaster in a short period of time, the city has also lost a lot. The four main defensive walls have almost completely collapsed and need to be rebuilt. Commander Zhao nodded and sighed. Fortunately, most of the residents in the city are fine. Little Zhao, you have to make appropriate arrangements for the aftermath of the disaster. You also have to compensate the citizens for their losses, Zhou Hao said with a solemn expression. Commander Zhao immediately turned solemn. Senior Zhou, don't worry. I'll personally supervise the reconstruction after the disaster. Zhou Hao smiled. I believe in Commander Little Zhao. In addition, although the beast wave attack this time has caused a lot of losses in the city, the number of demon beasts and insects in most of the wilderness areas has also decreased greatly. We can completely take this opportunity to expand the city's defense line outward. Agreed. Seconded. He Biao, Zhen Hong, and the other grandmasters nodded excitedly. In recent years, the various bases have been constantly shrinking their defense lines. However, such counterattacks and expansion were very rare. Their Huadong City could be considered to have profited from the disaster. Moreover, the Cloud Mink King, who is the greatest threat in the wilderness outside the city, was already dead. Unless the foreign races mobilized other royal families, the wilderness area was no longer a threat to the Huadong City. Commander Zhao laughed and said, Senior Zhou's suggestion is good. After Senior Han transports the chip and controls these demon kings, we will carry out a large-scale cleanup operation. Han Pu was very efficient. In the evening, he had already returned from the Spatial Rift frontline fortress. These chips were very easy to operate. As long as the demon kings did not resist, the chips could be inserted into their brains. However, even though the 52 king-level demon beasts did not know what the use of the chips was, they could more or less guess that they were definitely extremely detrimental to them. Therefore, even in the face of Zhou Hao suppression, 17 demon beasts still resisted. Zhou Hao naturally killed them casually, and he obtained another 2 million luck points. The remaining 35 king-level demon beasts obediently accepted the chip when they saw the other demon beasts get killed. Among these demon beasts, there were 21 intermediate-level demon kings, and the remaining 14 were low-level demon kings. By the time they were done, it was already late at night. Most of the residents of the city were still in the city, but some were still in the underground base. At this moment, the underground communication signal was switched on. Soon, Zhou Hao's phone rang. Son, where are you? How are you? As soon as he picked up the call, he heard his parents' anxious voices. Zhou Hao hurriedly said, Dad, Mom, I'm fine. I was with my classmate when the alarm sounded. I am in the underground base as well. I'm just in another place. Hearing this, Zhou Shuegua and Wang Shuyun heaved a sigh of relief. Son, I'm glad you're fine. You scared us to death. Zhou Hao smiled and said, Dad, Mom, according to our instructor, the beast wave attack has been resolved outside. We should be able to come out by tomorrow at the latest. Ah, the beast wave attack has been resolved? That's great. Thank God. Zhou Shuegua and Wang Shuyun became excited. Many people beside them seemed to have heard it, as well as they hurriedly asked for the source of the news. After receiving confirmation, they shouted excitedly. After hanging up the phone, Zhou Hao smiled. He took a look at Commander Zhao and the other grandmasters who were discussing the reconstruction of the base camp. He shook his head and disappeared. When he arrived at the wilderness area, He clenched his fist and punched out lightly. Buzz. The air immediately trembled like a bell and did not stop for a long time. At the same time, his body was like a bowstring. His aura swept out like a storm, causing a large number of towering ancient trees to shake continuously. This foundation-establishing cultivation technique, 9 revolutions golden body art, is really abnormal. It's already so powerful when it's only at its 3rd revolution. I wonder how strong it will be if I master the 9th revolution. Zhou Hao could not help but exclaim. Then he took out the god-slaying saber and touched the saber with his fingers. He seemed to be able to hear low groans. Clearly, this saber had an extraordinary past. Swoosh! With a thought, water ripples appeared on the red armor on his body and quickly turned into profound turtle shell patterns. Even after being attacked by the Cloud Mink King's huge claw, not even a trace was left on the armor. From this, it could be seen how powerful the Black Tortoise Divine Turtle Armor's defense was. Moreover, at that time, Zhou Hao didn't even really activate his armor. This Beast Wave attack has switched all my guns into cannons. Zhou Hao was excited. After spending tens of millions of luck points, almost all his cultivation techniques, equipment, and weapons have been upgraded to the 3rd level, allowing his strength to increase explosively. In the past, his full combat strength was only at the peak level Grandmaster level, but this time, even the supernatural expert, Han Pu, mistook him for a peak level 9th grade supernatural expert. It had to be known that he had only used 30% of his strength to kill the Cloud Mink King. His power was completely due to the enhancement effect of the 9 revolutions golden body art. He had not even relied on the might of the sky-splitting divine technique and the god-slaying saber. And his true cultivation level at this moment was only at the master level. I wonder what level I'll be able to reach if I unleash my full strength now. Zhou Hao's eyes flickered with anticipation. He really wanted to give it a try, but unfortunately, he didn't have a target that would allow him to test his strength. Shaking his head, he gathered his thoughts and opened the Heaven Dao software. His gaze quickly landed on the silver mystery box page. Zhou Hao had basically gotten all the top-grade 3rd-level items and was only missing the 3rd-level weapon. After thinking for a moment, he clicked on the mystery box again. Ding! Please fill in 3 categories: cultivation technique, weapon, and medicinal pill. Hearing the system's reminder, Zhou Hao subconsciously filled in the 9 revolutions golden body art, incomplete, sky-splitting divine technique, god-slaying saber, Black Tortoise Divine Turtle Shell, and Primordial Blood Pill. Swoosh! The boxes soon appeared. Cultivation Technique, 9 Revolutions Golden Body Art, incomplete, requires higher level. Sky-Splitting Divine Technique. Weapon, God-Slaying Saber, Blade of Nirvana. Black Tortoise Divine Turtle Armor. Medicinal Pills, Primordial Blood Pill. Upon seeing this, Zhou Hao was immediately disappointed. Indeed, other than the God-Slaying Saber, Zhou Hao was unable to upgrade anything else. Looks like there should be a limit to what I can get from the silver mystery boxes. He muttered to himself and thought. The hint from the 9 Revolutions golden body art had already indicated that there were higher-level mystery boxes above the silver mystery box. After all, the silver mystery boxes only allowed up to the 6th revolution, and there were 3 more revolutions left. After hesitating for a moment, he simply charged another 50 million yuan. His account balance immediately increased to 753,100 coins. As for his level, 32, 1730/10 million silver. Clearly, he still needed 700,000 experience points to level up. If the silver mystery box is able to increase my strength by so much, how miraculous would an even higher level mystery box be? With this in mind, Zhou Hao no longer hesitated and directly opened the silver mystery box 7 or 10 times in a row. Immediately, his virtual screen was filled with silver mystery boxes. Ding! Congratulations on opening 100 roses in the silver mystery box. Ding! Congratulations! The system's notifications kept sounding. They were all roses and Heaven Dao coins. Zhou Hao was not surprised by this. After all, Without the luck enhancement, the probability of him obtaining a rare level item was next to nothing. At the same time, the information regarding his consecutive opening of the Silver Mystery Box was also read by a large number of users who were staring at the Silver Mystery Box page. As a user who had opened 6 rare level items in a row, many people were actually paying attention to him. Rose's Heaven Dao coins. Sure enough, Lady Luck doesn't always favor a certain person. Don't be so jealous. Last time, he drew 6 top-grade rare items, and half of them were 3rd-level items. You can't be envious of his luck, let alone missing 70 items. Even if he missed a few hundred, he still gained a lot. That's right. Everyone knows what a 3rd-level item of the Silver Mystery Box represents. Last time, this guy opened 1,000 ordinary mystery boxes to upgrade to the silver level. This time, he's opening another 70 silver mystery boxes in a row. Could he be trying to level up again? Damn, now that you mention it, it's really possible. Maybe he already obtained all the top-grade items of the silver mystery boxes. Many users had guessed correctly. Zhou Hao was indeed trying to level up. After opening 70 boxes, he turned to his personal page without even looking at the notifications. Level 1,021,730/100 million gold. Zhou Hao smiled bitterly when he saw the experience points he needed to level up after reaching the gold level. 100 million experience points was equivalent to 10 billion yuan. However, it was fortunate that his strength had soared now, so earning 10 billion yuan was not difficult. It had to be known that just the Cloud Mink King he killed was worth more than 10 billion yuan on the market. Of course, if he really wanted to sell it, no one in Huadong City would be able to afford to pay for it. The currency here was different from the currency in the past. It wasn't that easy to just print out mass quantities. Soon, he returned to the shop section's mystery box page. As expected, another gold box appeared on the right of the silver mystery box. Gold mystery box. This should be a higher level mystery box. Zhou Hao directly clicked on the introduction to the rules in the upper right corner of the mystery box. After browsing through it, he came to a realization. The gold mystery box was similar to the silver mystery box. One still had to fill in their own cultivation techniques, medicinal pills, and weapons. However, the upper limit of the items had increased, and each box cost 1,000,000 Heaven Dao coins. It was simply ridiculously expensive. Apart from that, there were 2 additional gold mystery boxes. One was for synthesis, and the other was for pets. Zhou Hao focused on these 2 types of boxes. The synthesis boxes did not require Heaven Dao coins, but it required roses instead. Each synthesis box cost 10 roses. Basically, the synthesis boxes allowed one to put the medicinal pills, weapons, and cultivation techniques together to randomly produce something new. The pet boxes were relatively simple. As long as one filled in the pet list, the system would automatically increase the pet's level. In addition, pets could also be synthesized. Zhou Hao was very surprised. This gold mystery box seems to have more variations. After thinking for a moment, he swept his gaze over the information regarding the gold mystery box. There were only a few hundred messages. Compared to the thousands of messages regarding the silver mystery boxes, there were clearly not many users who opened the gold mystery boxes. However, the information regarding the synthesis boxes appeared as frequently as the information of ordinary mystery boxes. 1,000,000 Heaven Dao coins is required to open a single gold mystery box. It's indeed not as cheap as 10 roses for one box. Zhou Hao smiled. He only had more than 50,000 Heaven Dao coins in his account, which was not enough for him to open a single gold mystery box. However, he had accumulated a lot of roses. He had more than 120,000 roses and could open more than 10,000 boxes. But at the moment, he did not have anything he wanted to synthesize. I still have to earn more money. I also have to buy more cultivation techniques, secret techniques, and combat techniques. Closing the virtual screen, infinite anticipation rose in his heart. Just the Heaven Dao software mystery boxes alone had allowed him to completely transform. The synthesis boxes and the pet boxes will probably bring even more miraculous changes. The next day, when there was a glimmer of light in the sky. The entrance to the underground base opened one after another. Countless citizens rushed out one after another. In this beast wave attack disaster, the North Station suffered the most losses, followed by the West Station. As for the East Station and the South Station, other than the destruction of the defensive line, the buildings inside the defensive line were intact. However, the government had long announced that it would compensate for all the losses of this disaster. So, even though most people's homes have been destroyed, they do not feel grief, but are actively cooperating with the government to rebuild their homes. At Chu City High School, ring ring, the crisp school bell sounded. A large number of students who were still traumatized by the beast wave attack disaster entered the classroom under the supervision of the teachers. In the focus training class, Zhou Hao, Su Ling, Yuan Cheng, and the other students were already standing in front of the virtual cabin in an orderly manner. However, many of them were whispering. Did you guys hear? The reason why the beast wave attack in our city was resolved so quickly is mainly because of Senior Zhou. Senior Zhou? Could he be the expert who killed all the insect beasts in the West Station? Yes, that's him. Speaking of which, we were able to escape calamity all thanks to this Senior Zhou. That's right. If not for this expert, we would probably have become food for the insect beasts. Unfortunately, we aren't even able to thank him personally. How could an expert of Senior Zhou's level be someone we can see so easily? Zhou Hao stood in the crowd and listened to the students' discussion. He immediately felt a little amused. If they knew that he was the Senior Zhou that they all respected and admired, their jaws would probably drop. At this moment, Su Ling suddenly leaned over. Zhou Hao, where were you when the beast wave attack disaster happened? A delicate fragrance immediately surged into Zhou Hao's nose. He glanced at Su Ling from the corner of his eyes and saw the plump flesh underneath her collarbones. His eyes couldn't help but widen. Bang! Su Ling sensed Zhou Hao's abnormality and hurriedly adjusted herself. She raised her foot and kicked Zhou Hao's butt. She said angrily, "Pervert, where are you looking?" She deliberately lowered her voice. After all, many students were standing around. Zhou Hao coughed lightly and said innocently, "Su Ling, you can't blame me for this. That place of yours is just too big. I only did it subconsciously. I couldn't just close my eyes after seeing it, could I? Why are you still going on about that?" Su Ling's face was red from embarrassment as she kicked Zhou Hao again. Only then did Zhou Hao apologize honestly. "All right, I'm sorry. Stop kicking. You're basically a martial artist now. Your kick is very painful." Su Ling pouted. I'll keep kicking you if you keep letting your eyes wander around." Zhou Hao hurriedly changed the topic to prevent Su Ling from continuing to flip out. During the beast wave attack, I was not far from my house. When I heard the alarm, I immediately went into the underground base. What about you guys? Were you guys really at the bar near the North Station? Thinking of the scene back then, Su Ling looked at Zhou Hao with some lingering fear. Fortunately, you didn't come back then. Otherwise, it would have been tragic. With your strength, if you had fallen behind while escaping, you would be in danger. I suppose it's just my luck. Zhou Hao pretended to be glad. Su Ling was about to speak when Instructor Shun strode in. The whispers in the classroom immediately disappeared, and the students straightened their backs. Shen Jing swept his gaze around. Seeing that the students were all here, the worry on his face disappeared. He looked at Yuan Cheng and said indifferently, "In the future, if there are any private gatherings of students, you must ask for permission from me in advance. This time, you're lucky to have bumped into Senior Zhou, who is able to quickly provide support. If you're unlucky next time, you'll implicate the entire class." Yuan Cheng lowered his head and said, "Yes, instructor." The other students also revealed fearful expressions. "Students, the city has dealt with the beast wave attack disaster safely, but for our training class, the beast wave attack has not ended," Instructor Shun said slowly. The students were puzzled, not knowing what Instructor Shun meant. Soon, Instructor Shun continued. Because of Senior Zhou's contribution, almost all the demon beasts and insects in this beast wave attack have been killed, causing the demon beasts and insects in most areas outside the wilderness area of the city to decrease by nearly 80%. The foreign races that have surpassed the general level have also been completely wiped out. Therefore, after the unanimous decision of Commander Zhao from the military and the other grandmasters, we will start a thorough cleanup operation in the wilderness the day after tomorrow. After a pause, Instructor Shun continued. All Year 3 students from all the high schools in the city will participate in this wilderness cleanup operation. As soon as he said this, the students were stunned.